I have a controversial answer.
What is it?
Destiny 1.
What is, everyone? Welcome to Nerdland Podcast you didn't need, but you deserve, where all levels of nerd are welcome.
Yes, you
Plug
are.
in that extra player to the console, or feel free to solo for the next 2 hours, as we are doing it once again.
Oh, but wait, I got a side quest I got to go do.
Today, we revisit one of our first ever episodes with new outlooks, experiences, and new members. Today, we talk about Video Games Are Us Part 2. Boom. Nailed it. Cut the check.
Wow.
Cut the check.
Wow.
Part 2.
It's a whole new world.
Yeah.
That was episode number 2, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was.
And now this is part 2 of episode 2, so it's like all the dumb
Way
franchises.
back in September 28th of 2017,
Yeah.
we did Video Games Are Us.
Uh-huh.
That was before I was alive.
We
Uh-huh.
didn't even consider there would be a part
2.
2 or that it was a multi-parter in any regard.
Or
So-
that there would be 5
How,
hosts.
oh, the naivety.
We're digging at the bottom of the barrel. But before we get
Now.
too far into it, let's introduce our hosts of the episode. My name is Tom.
Ali.
I'm Caitlyn.
I'm Corey.
And I am Josh, and this episode is brought to you in part by the members of the Nerd On Nation that is powered by Patreon. Patreon.
In case you didn't hear that.
As members of the Nerd On Nation, you do get fun stuff. For as little as $1 to $5 a month, you can get fun stuff like Discord community or
Early
discounts on
episodes.
merch,
Boner
early access,
episodes.
boner episodes.
Wow.
Oh,
Things
been a
have
minute.
changed a lot
Yeah.
since we've
It's been
called
a
it that.
long time.
I still call them that.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys been doing.
Check it out, nerdon.io/Patreon.
And you also get to be part of our other show, Nerd On Update, and you get to be voiced into there and talk about
Yeah.
stuff we
You
wanna
can
talk
ask
about.
questions and we'll answer them on the show.
Be
Yeah.
part
Mhm.
of the show.
Send those questions
part of the Nerd
to
On Nation.
questions at nerdon.tv.
Yeah.
Make
Do
us make us
At
the
our
best that we
internet
can
email
be.
address. That's
It
all
is-
he calls it.
I mean, real quick, just because this is kind of like it is calling back to when we were still young and like episode 2.
Yeah.
And
That's a-
it's fun to listen to yourself for research for an episode, and we've changed.
Yeah.
Not a
so
lot,
much.
though.
We're a lot more bitter.
Yeah.
Oh.
We
were.
weren't on YouTube.
We
That's
were
true.
not on
That's
YouTube.
true. We're not on YouTube.
And the other thing too is, especially in the video game arena, we've experienced 2 E3s.
Yes.
We've
where the
emailed
shirt is
and
from.
created relationships with video game companies.
Mhm.
And so for me personally, like since part 1, I've actually experienced more video games than that I wouldn't probably
ever
think of
before.
than I would even think of picking up.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
And so it's a lot of fun to
You're welcome for
get
that.
a
Josh.
different perspective. I'm not gonna
Don't acknowledge
Don't
that.
acknowledge it.
Don't acknowledge
It's
it at
best
all.
to not.
give some
Anyway,
power.
so we're talking about video games are us. Caitlyn is new to this. She was not on our episode 2.
So,
I was not.
So let's
So I'd like you to start us off.
yeah,
I
let's
think
get
we
through
knew
it.
each
So
other then.
what are you currently playing?
What am I currently playing?
What are you
2 years ago.
What am I currently playing 2 years ago? Oh, good God. Probably a lot of Overwatch. Now I'm playing a lot of Graveyard Keeper.
What is that for the people who don't know?
It's like Stardew Valley. It's like a farming game, but you are literally a gravekeeper. And so you are doing like alchemy and harvesting body parts and growing vegetables and
Good family fun.
getting zombies
You know,
to
regular
harvest.
gravekeeper stuff. Just alchemy and
Making zombies that harvest your vegetables and
What kind of play type? First person RPG, top down. Give me the
it's a
works.
top-down
it's a top-down
pixel game.
It's a top-down pixel game. It's like a farming simulator, but you're farming bodies as well as vegetables.
I would compare
looks like
it
Harvest
to Minecraft-y kind of thing. Meets Harvest
Minecraft.
Moon.
Yeah,
It's got the like
Minecraft
16-bit graphic
meets,
thing going on.
Yeah, a little bit cleaner.
It's that kind of like I could lose 6 hours without noticing it.
I
kind
have
of vibe.
done that
Yes.
multiple times. It's one of those games that like sends you on quests that are so layered. Like you have to achieve this one thing that is how you progress through the next level is to like, well, they don't do levels, but to get the next thing done, you have to like grow this vegetable to get this resource so that you can put it over here and make this resource over here and then
And then you
mine
gotta give it to
this,
this
and then you
person.
gotta
Oh,
get it
so
over
busy
here.
an
work.
item.
It's a lot of busy work.
Great.
And then remembering
so
it.
middle management's really great at those games. Okay, cool.
But it's really fun, and I've been playing it a lot.
What is it's on PC?
Yeah, it's PC on Steam. I don't know if it's anywhere else, actually. I think it might also be on Switch.
Dope.
They just had a DLC called Stranger Sins come out, which...
What is it called? Gravekeeper?
Yeah, look it up, Tom.
Wow, I've already forgotten the full name of it.
Gravekeeper Servant, which is a
Did you write it down?
Yu-Gi-Oh card.
No.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's really helpful. I know.
Good thing you brought that notebook.
Yeah, I know. I have all not notes about
Graveyard
that in
Keeper.
there. Graveyard Keeper. There we are.
Wow.
Graveyard Keeper.
So far
Yeah,
doing
I've
good.
been playing a lot of that.
Microsoft Windows, Mac OS X, Linux, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4. So all the ones that you didn't mention.
Literally everything.
Yeah.
Cool.
Whoops.
Oh, it's on Xbox One. I'm gonna check it out then.
Yeah, no, it's super fun.
So how do we want to go about this? Do we all want to go about our currently playing? Because
Yeah.
this is our part 2. So
Might as well.
yeah.
Mine
Yeah.
goes into kind of like what I've.
So
Yeah.
last
I'd like
year
to.
you were playing WoW and Destiny 2.
I
or
was.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
What are you doing now, Corey? Powers?
I am playing a second campaign of Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay.
So there's a morality system within the game. You can do a high morale, which is what I finished the first playthrough as. And then there's a low morale playthrough as well.
What would you say is a big allure of Red Dead Redemption for those who may have not played it before but know of it?
It's basically like it's one of the greatest narratives I've ever played.
So
as
the
far
story's
as the
good.
story goes,
Fantastic
but the
story.
play style is like literally Cowboy Simulator. Like
Yeah.
it really is. You can
Yeehaw!
hunt, you
Every
can
aspect.
cook food, you can trade furs, you can create.
Third person and first
You
person.
can craft. Yeah, you can go third or first person. Just it's much like Grand Theft Auto, but the Wild West.
Mhm.
It's
Instead
so
of
good.
stealing cars, you can steal horses.
Which kind of fits a little bit better. It feels
Yeah.
more natural
it's
in that
and
setting.
it's some of the greatest acting that I've seen
Oh.
in a video game. In
Yeah.
fact, I took a few notes here. I want to give some shout outs. I want to first of all give a shout out to Benjamin Byron Davis, who played Dutch.
Yeah.
He's also in the first Red Dead Redemption. Same same voice actor. They brought him back. Probably one of the most unique voices I've ever heard.
Spoilers. I guess he didn't die in the first one.
Well, the first one is a sequel to this.
sequel.
This is a prequel.
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
This is a prequel to Red Dead Redemption.
But they called it 2.
Yeah, because it's the second game in the series, but it takes place before the first game.
They might have-
Numbers.
They could have just called it the pre-sequel.
I want to give a shout out to Roger Clark, who
could've.
plays Arthur, who's the player character. He created, because I don't know if anyone here ever played Red Dead Redemption, the first one. John Marsden is an amazingly complicated character in the sense that like he's that gray area where he's pretty good, but also like he kind of used to be an outlaw, so he's got this like he does what he needs to do to survive kind of thing.
I aim to misbehave.
And Arthur, with the character Arthur, they kind of took that arc and put it in your hands, right? So you have the morality system now. So this guy had to act out basically 2 different games. And I think he did it for 3.5 to 5 years to get this game done.
Whoa.
Oh man.
He's like the Fraser Crane of video games.
Right, because you have so many choices in the game, and it does affect the
Yeah.
narrative quite a bit, depending on if you go high morale or low morality. So he had to do basically everything twice, and 2 completely different characters, kind of, but also the same character. So like, shout out to him. I also want to
It's
give
the
a
same
shout
character
out
but with a different backstory.
to Alex McKenna, who plays Sadie Adler in the game.
Oh, yeah.
I love that character.
Very cool, unique voice, but she becomes a badass. I'm going to give you find out in the first mission, mild spoilers, I'm not going to anything too crazy here, because she's a very side character. Unfortunately, I wish they had spent more time with her.
Yeah.
In the beginning of the game, you fight this gang called the O'Driscolls, and it turns out they killed her husband, and we're going to like torture and rape her, essentially.
Jesus.
So you rescue her, and she joins your gang, and then she becomes the most badass person in the entire game. And she starts like hunting O'Driscolls while you're away for a few missions. And she's like, oh yeah, while you were away, I kind of like rounded everyone up. We've been hunting them down, like taking care of business. And you're like, holy shit, she's a total badass. So those were just a few of my shout outs I wanted to give out to the actors. But
Dang.
if you haven't checked out Red Dead Redemption 2, do yourself a favor and pick it up immediately, because honestly, in the last 10 years, it's one of the greatest narratives I've ever played.
It's a great
Whoa.
story.
Josh, what are you playing right now?
Currently playing, like right now, I'm actually dropping between 4 games because
Jeez.
I'm kind
Whoa.
of, it just depends on the mood that I'm in. And when I mention them, you're going to be like, oh yeah, they're
Yeah.
totally different. So, I mean, right now it's
Leisure Suit Larry.
Luigi's Mansion 3, which
Oh, yeah.
is a lot of fun.
Is it good? I was
It's-
thinking about getting it.
It's completely addictive.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. Since since our part 1 of this, I got a Switch.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so there's some fun
Yeah.
stuff on the Switch. So I mean, Luigi's Mansion 3 has just been so
A
much
blasty
fun,
blast?
a blast, addictive. Final Fantasy 8, the re-release, super fun.
Makes sense.
There's a lot of Switch games right now that it's like at least 4 or 5 that I legitimately really want to play badly. But
Yeah.
like I just don't have the time.
So that's 2.
Telltale's The Walking Dead Definitive Collection,
Mm-hmm.
because they finally released the final season,
Yeah.
and then Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
Mm.
So
All right.
it's
So
very
first
it's very-
person story, light novel, and then RPG, and then
First person shooter.
nice,
Is
first
Breakpoint
person.
new?
Oh yeah.
And then the Luigi Mansion is like
It's like a puzzle.
Fluff.
It's a puzzle.
Puzzle
yeah.
fluff.
Yay!
third person
Yay!
action puzzle game.
Yeah.
Not the hardest, not the easiest.
Yeah.
Is the
And cute.
Ghost Recon thing new? Like a new drop?
Yeah,
It's
it,
recent, yeah.
it dropped a couple of weeks ago. It's got some hiccups.
Luigi's
but,
Mansion Ghost Recon.
Ghost Recon, Luigi's
That'd be
Revenge.
fucking dope.
Yeah, it'd be great.
That'd be so
Luigi
cool.
walking around with an AK-47.
Mario.
Nintendo's fallen a long way.
He's like, sorry, the Peach in another castle.
Nintendo's like, we respond to the market. It's like, don't.
You spoke and we listened.
Played by John Leguizamo.
No. Okay.
All right. Anywho,
Ollie, Ollie games
Ollie.
for me.
Ollie, how's Destiny 2 playing?
Destiny 2 is playing great. We'll talk about that more later. But the game that I'm actually playing almost daily now is Ring Fit Adventure on the Switch.
Ooh.
For those of you who listened to our feed, Caitlyn mentioned it a few weeks ago on the update. Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Okay,
you
it's gonna be
ran
kind of
out.
weird. There for a second.
Check our
It
content.
got
fact
quiet.
check.
He was like,
Right,
wait,
right.
wait,
I'm
right?
fairly certain.
If we didn't
Yes.
say anything, that means you're right. We
Right.
would have all been like, no, she
Yeah.
didn't. Nobody listened to him.
So this thing is legitimate. Like it's
Sorry, everyone who's listening.
like We Fit
for that sound.
for that sound. He'll fix it.
Will I though?
Not anymore because we
Just
talked
switch.
about
It was just Switch falling off of its kickstand, which I have very passionate.
Just talk
emotions
about the game.
So Ring Fit Adventure is a workout game. Essentially, it comes with a big resistance ring that attaches to one of your Joy-Cons. And
It looks like a steering wheel.
It looks like a steering wheel with two grips on it. You can compress it or pull it.
Or
And
twist it.
Or twist it.
Bop
I
it.
don't know if you can twist it, bop it,
Strangle it.
But
Pass it.
essentially, it has you work out. And the way it does it is probably one of the coolest things.
It's
that I've seen in
resistance
a while.
training.
It's resistance training, but it's also cardio. There's like running and jogging involved. But the way they do it is through a campaign, like through an adventure campaign with missions and levels, enemies
Really?
you fight, bosses you kill.
Cool.
It's so immersive.
You unlock different like workouts, and those are your attacks. So like if I'm like, I'll be going through a mission,
Hit him with a burpee.
which is just jogging.
Yeah.
So you'll be doing like a light jog through this mission, and then you'll come across like a random enemy, like an RPG, and you'll go into battle with them, and you can like pick, I'm going to use
Jumpy
my
jack.
overhead press to defeat this monster, and then it has you do like
Oh.
reps of overhead presses to do damage numbers onto the enemy, and then they die, and you get experience and
Wow.
learn
Look at
more,
that.
and you build loadouts, and it's like an RPG. And
Fuck you, We Fit.
Exactly.
Got nothing on this.
It's like the next level from We Fit.
Wow.
So it's been something that I've been pretty addicted with. You can also just do like workout sessions. Like you can just pick a workout that you want to do
yeah.
or sets, or it also has like what they call multitasking mode, which is you don't even have to have the game on. You can just pick up the ring with a Joy-Con attached, and you can just go work out somewhere on the couch,
You
whatever.
get experience based off it.
Gain experience when it syncs back to your
Just like
thing
Pokemon.
and keeps track of it. And it's if you're looking for a motivation to work out, this is definitely going to bring it for you. And
wow.
and every time I use it, within 20, 30 minutes, I'm soaking wet with sweat.
Wow.
And like feeling the burn.
hot drip.
Hot,
Soaking
dripping,
wet.
soaking wet.
Just tell him to shh.
Hey,
No, I'm not gonna.
Thanks for that
So-
P90X explanation.
Very.
Corey said no.
So it's if you're ever wondering if We Fit Adventure is like actually really a workout, it is. It's a fucking workout. Like, and it's up to you how intense you make it. It scales
I'm
with you.
so happy / jealous. It's everything I wanted it to be, and now I want
Caitlyn,
one.
It's worth it.
You were like
100%.
what we were when we started this, like video games part 1, when we were like, I can't wait to get a Switch. Caitlyn, you could have.
Oh yeah, you need to get a Switch for this.
I know.
You've
Yeah.
been saying you want a
And you
Switch for
need-
months.
You can't
Yeah,
get the
you gotta
can't
have
get
the
the light
money for
version.
that.
Well,
you can't get the light
Payment
version.
plans, baby.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, it's got a leg strap so it can kind of keep track of your movements. And
Tom Dark, not
Nice.
ugly. What's going on with you? What are you playing?
Tom Dark Rises again. So last year I was playing Mad Max, and that game sucked.
Oh, yeah.
After a while.
You mean
After
2
a while,
years ago?
I mean, that was just me, but I just got really bored of it. But I would say what I would like to see, or what I have been playing, is a smattering, or as Josh says,
Yeah.
a spattering of games.
Spattering.
A smattering of games. One of them specifically has been The Witcher
Yeah.
3 Wild Hunt.
Oh,
Mainly
so
because Uh,
Did you get all that sweet free DLC?
I haven't even touched
It's
that. shit.
so free.
It's
it's awesome.
I only started playing it because the nerds at the Nerd on Nation have been like, hey, if you did it on a stream, I'd watch. And then I was like, sure. And then I played it, and then I was like, I don't know if I really like this game. And then I started playing other things, and then I started like learning. Oh, you could play Gwent. Oh, you could just do side missions and just kill monsters around me.
Forever.
Then I was like, oh, I don't have to do this story mode. But then if I do, I might get cool shit.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
I
experience a cool
haven't
story.
gone anywhere that far for sure. I just met up with what's her name? Is Isabella?
Yeah.
Jennifer.
Yennefer.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I was like, Isabella. I don't
Isabella,
know an Isabella.
Yennefer.
Yeah, Isabella.
Yennepfeifen, as we called her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jennifer and
We had a friend named Jennifer who we called Yennefer, and then it turned into Yennepfeifen, and now it's Yen.
Yen.
Yeah.
Yen money. But yeah, I just met
Tasty
with
yen
her
money.
and she's just like being rude and cold hearted, and she's like, I don't give you none. I was like, we just banged at the beginning. Why are you being all
You gotta
mean?
play the other two games to
complicated.
understand your.
I get it. But I was like, at the beginning of the games, we banged. And I
Yeah.
was like, come on, man.
We bang. We
like-
bang.
That's the one thing I would say I loved about God of War games at the beginning of every game. Smash.
Oh
And I'm
my
not
God.
talking about the franchise.
So anyway,
Oh.
But yeah, so I've been playing Witcher, but also like I've just really been playing anything that's on the stream. So like horror games. So I played Alien Isolation recently. I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist Legacy for a while.
nice.
Just because it kind of actually really got me more involved into watching the later shows that I haven't watched. And mind you, everyone listening around the table and at home, there are like 6 different series within the Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So think of like Avatar for you, Ollie. There's 6 different avatars. And it's like you got to watch all those seasons.
Hell
And
yeah.
some of them are not even
Can I?
English because the fucking dubbing companies anyways. But so yeah, just playing a smattering of games.
Speaking of horror games, you know what I've been thinking about playing recently? It was free on Xbox, or is right
Outlast.
now. No, Friday the 13th.
Oh,
Oh,
it
the
was
video
free
game.
on PlayStation for a
Ugh.
while.
Yeah, I want to check it out. It looks really good.
No.
I'm excited to try it.
On
Yeah.
I
PlayStation,
downloaded it like last week.
by the time of recording this, on PlayStation, Outlast 2 is free.
Oh,
And I got it and I was
yeah.
like, oh no.
We used to play Outlast together. It was one of the
Hell
scariest games I ever
no.
played in my life.
Hell no.
I
Shout out
can't
to
stand
the
that.
night.
It's a horror game where your only vision is like the night
Night
mode
vision.
of a camcorder.
And you can run out of batteries.
And in episode
And you
1,
can run
you're
out of
like a
batteries.
reporter who's investigating a mental institution.
Abandoned.
Oh,
meds.
I know which one that is. No.
It's super scary,
No,
but it's so
no,
good.
no, no,
It's so good.
And the
It's a
first-
puzzle game.
First jump scare,
Puzzle game.
someone says, "Come here, piggy," and throws you down a fucking second story.
Yeah.
And then,
It's totally your game.
No. No.
Things like you just see things go like
Yeah.
past doors when you're walking at them. You're like, ah.
yeah.
The door that you have to go.
Yeah.
This would be another game that I would headbutt Tom.
They're doing that
during.
shit in Destiny now, by the way.
Are they?
Little shadows creeping around. You're like, oh no, god damn it, what the fuck is that?
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like playing like a lot of Switch games, so like Smash and all that stuff. But then I kind of like fell off it because I was wanting to get immersed into like a single player game and just go into like a fucking story. So like The Witcher is probably the one that's the one I want to continue right now.
Nice.
It's a good one to do.
There was a game that we were talking about. What was it? Tom, you brought it to us. Going Home? That
Oh,
one's like
yeah.
a surround sound scary
I-
experience
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you'll
yeah.
hear, like, over
Gone
here,
Home?
you'll hear, hey, you. And you're like, wait,
In your headphones while you're like
Did I-
playing it,
did I hear that?
you'll hear
Oh,
on
it's super
your
good.
left or right.
What?
Have you played the whole game?
Yeah.
So I mean, spoilers, everyone.
No,
It's like-
don't spoil.
Spoilers, everyone. So like,
No.
You
it's
want
like
to spoil a scary game? You're gonna go play it?
You're gonna play. You're not gonna play a scary game.
I think I actually have that game in my library. I
yeah.
just haven't
you're
played
gonna
it
like
yet.
this. You're gonna like the spoiler. It is one of the most chilling and scariest experiences I played in a video game for a while. But when I finished the game, the heartfelt story that it did in game made me like cry. Cause I was like, whoa. And then I tweeted it out and I was like, yo, at Going Home, blah, blah, blah. I was like, why'd you do this to me? Like, I thought I was playing a scary game. And then they're like, thank you. We appreciate that you still played it. And I was like,
Aw.
and I did, like, I looked up all the behind the scenes documentaries of like how they made it.
Whoa.
And like, they had like, the
I haven't
voice acting's
finished it
like
yet.
3 people.
Yeah, yeah.
And
yeah.
like, it's really good.
Yeah, it's a
you haven't
beautiful
finished
game.
it, Corey?
no.
Oh,
Not yet.
Oh. You just, it's like, it's a nice,
I believe you.
it's a hug.
It's
Uh,
a hug.
So on our last one, we did favorite franchises.
Yeah.
So I think that might have changed. I don't know, Ollie, but Caitlyn, let's hear what you might have to say. What's your favorite franchise?
Franchise.
What's your
What are you a franchise
What's your
of?
favorite franchise?
I do like the Final Fantasy games.
Okay.
I'm into that business.
One in
Logged-
particular?
My sister and I logged probably over 600 hours into Final Fantasy X.
Okay, I was gonna ask
with-
older school or the newer like 3D games.
New gen.
With Titus, I see you.
Cloud,
More so than
meaning
new.
like 7 and on or before 7.
I did play some of
both.
the earlier games.
You can
I
say
didn't
both.
get in till 7 and 8.
Yeah,
Yeah, same.
10 was like all we were kind of allowed for whatever reason. My
'Cause it was a
parents were
love
like,
story?
It's the most. It's the
Well,
least dark, I guess.
like whatever
I
the
went
rating
ham on
was.
8.
My parents went hardcore by ratings. So if it was PG-13 and we were 12,
Or
like we
M,
actually
mature.
got, I think it was we got like Final Fantasy 8 and it had a PG-13 rating, so they made us return it.
That T for teen?
T for teen.
T
Couldn't
for
do that?
teen, probably that as well.
Mm.
Probably that only.
Probably that
Yeah,
only.
That's
They don't do
MPAA.
the PG.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was TV.
Oh, yeah,
it was
T.
TV 14.
Yeah.
T. Yeah, if it was
Yeah, there's
if it
like
was T, then
T.
they were like, no, not for you. You're too
It
little.
was E for explicit.
But that's why we logged so many hours on like Final Fantasy and stuff. And then we would go to my friend's house and he would play Final Fantasy and we would like watch because we
Nice.
weren't allowed.
So you
kinda
say
like-
that Final Fantasy is your favorite franchise?
I
of
would
all time?
say,
I have a guess.
Go
what?
for it.
Spyro.
Fuck.
There it is.
That's what I was gonna say next.
That's okay.
I'd say that's your favorite franchise. Just
That-
judging from conversations and videos, check them out on our YouTube.
Nice plug, nice plug. Good,
Why,
good,
why do you like Spyro?
Because he's cute as fuck.
He's cute as fuck, man. No, I don't know.
It was
I
Elijah
like
Wood.
It's a Dargan.
I like the things. I've always liked games where you affect the world and like what you do changes things directly in your environment.
Oh, like Dying Light 2. Okay, that's cool.
You should play Red Dead Redemption.
I think that would make me really sad. But and all the animation is really cute
Sad?
and like the colors and everything.
What's
Um,
they have a universe technically, right? Outlanders or what's it called?
Skylanders.
Skylanders.
Well, they
Skylanders.
built. Yeah, they built it out.
Right.
around
So
it.
that like once it expanded into that was the first time that they really did near field communications for games.
Oh, NFC.
And that was the beginning of all of that was
The success of
the
that.
Skylanders.
For those who don't know, it's like the little amiibos that you get.
Yep.
Exactly. Amiibos came after
after that.
Skylanders.
Skylanders was the first to pioneer. 'Cause like,
Skylanders
hey,
was
get
first.
toys.
Disney
And then
was trying to
Nintendo
get onto
appled
it.
it.
Nin-
Oh, man.
No,
Nintendo.
Disney did it.
I was
Disney did it,
hardcore
and
into
it
the
failed
Disney
really
one.
badly.
I know. Me and my buddy were both collecting.
Yeah.
The Disney
all-
ones?
Getting
yeah, the
ready.
Disney. I was like, this is dope. The game was like left a little to be desired, so maybe that's why. But like,
It's
I'd
just,
say that's definitely
there
why
was
they
no way
canceled
they
it.
could have kept up with the like popularity because every time a new Skylanders game came out, they found a new way to utilize that like the like portal and
Yeah.
stuff.
well,
So they found a way to make it more immersive with
Right.
every game that came out.
Well,
And
I
there
think
came a
Suck you in.
I think that
Yeah.
what happened with Disney's was they got they made a deal with EA for exclusive
oh no,
bullshit, and then
And they're like, hey, do you want to microtransact us with
They
the
EA,
canceled it.
yo.
yeah,
Give the rights to Star Wars back to Obsidian and let them make Knights of the Old Republic 3.
that would be sick.
Fuck EA.
this is
But
EA's
yeah,
last chance with this
uh,
Fallen Order.
Yeah.
Spyro, I would say, is probably my favorite. Final Fantasy, I remember the most, but Spyro probably is like it's actually me.
Yeah.
Do you? Is
Spyro.
You're a tiny purple dragon.
I'm a tiny purple
Voiced
dragon.
by Elijah Wood.
Voiced by Elijah Wood.
All right, nice.
I've been thinking about this for so long.
sound
That's
so
what
familiar.
your voice.
That's
reminds
me.
It's
of.
I'm
Elijah
a tiny
Wood.
purple dragon, voiced by Elijah Wood.
Is there a particular moment in the game or franchise, like one specific game that you liked that was
Stood out.
the best for you?
Memorable. Most memorable Spyro moment.
Slash, if somebody
I
wanted to go
do-
play
Go
it.
now.
Remember, I think it was Cinder. In,
Who?
Cinder, what's one of the boss fights you do?
Explain for those like me.
Uncultured swines.
Basically, the end
Easy
all
there,
be
Tom.
all boss battle at the end of the game.
Big
I could
baddie.
not beat it, even though it was like the last one for the last
Tinder
game.
fella.
And I couldn't beat him. So I put down the game and left it for 8 years. And then I put it back in and beat it in 3 minutes.
There you go.
Because you got smarter.
Yeah.
'Cause you're a
sure.
dumb
Hand
kid.
or,
was a dumb
hand
little
or
kid.
coordination.
Your
And or.
Overwatch trained you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was probably the most memorable moment, aside from the little fuckers that steal the eggs and run around.
Oh,
You gotta
yeah.
chase them
Headbutt
and
them.
headbutt them, and they're little bitches.
Yeah, they're pieces of shit.
Wow, language.
pieces
This
of
is a
shit.
family show.
Okay,
Is it
Tom.
so?
Fucking.
Can you shut the
what's-
fuck up?
I was about to say.
Maybe
You're
Al
the
Bundy's
worst
family.
one of all. No, lots of Spyro. Crashing Racing was another one that I spent way too much time on.
Oh, yeah,
I said one
you were really
franchise.
excited for that, for the new one that was
I still want to play it.
Couldn't play
I
it
still haven't played it.
But you
What?
would say as a definitive answer, Spyro's the most.
Spyro's.
But you haven't played
I'm
the new one?
trailing.
'Cause
No, I
Activision
haven't played the
didn't
new
So I
one.
guess it's not your favorite. So Josh, go ahead.
Tom's being a dick.
Yeah, he is.
Activision didn't have a full booth. They had just that game.
Yeah, I
The
remember that.
logic, it's not present.
There's no
I
logic.
know.
Don't worry about
There
it.
never
Well,
is.
it's like how you
We'll
like Paddington. It's your favorite movie of all time. Josh, what has your favorite franchise changed, or is it still Final Fantasy VII, that game only?
I like
Look,
a
I didn't spit
franchise
water
that is
into
Final
this
Fantasy
mic.
VII.
You know what's funny? So when we recorded this as well, everyone's throwback episode, you were saying, I wish there was going to be a remake.
Yeah.
of
Final Fantasy
VII.
That's
VII.
right,
You
we're
guys
talking
talked
about
about it for a
coming.
Yeah.
while.
It's
In a few
coming,
months.
Josh.
It's upon
It's
us.
coming.
It
Part
is.
1 is coming.
At the time,
Part 1.
we had no
They're
news,
too
and we got some.
Pussyfooting around
And-
to release a whole game. They're like, we'll do parts.
But you know what? Josh is going to love it.
I know he is.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's just a big
But do you have
problem of
another
mine.
franchise you probably want to shout out maybe?
I recently, over the past
Put it
couple of
down.
years, have gotten way into like the Ghost Recon games.
Oh.
And Wildlands,
Sucked you
I
in?
loved. And really, it's more so the Ubisoft games. So it's hard to say like a franchise. It's just been the recent
Tom
Ubisoft
Clancy's.
games. The Tom Clancy, like Ghost
Far Cry.
Recon, Division, Far Cry. And I'll tell you why. I love to play video games with other people,
Mhm.
especially my stepbrother. Shout out to Michael.
Shout out to the night.
We just have a good time, and he's fun to play video games with, and we'll go mess some shiz up, get in trouble, and just
Okay.
have fun.
Just hang out with your real friends. That's cool.
It's not about you right now. He's telling a story, Tom. Jesus Christ. So you fuck some shiz up.
Yeah, play some shiz up with my brother.
Aw.
Shout
but
out to the night.
I've
to the
loved,
mic.
I've loved the Ubisoft games in general. The Division series was a great. It's hard. I mean, the Far Cry, but I had only played Far Cry 5. Can you count Ghost Recon? Well, I guess because there's so many of them, it would be a
I don't know.
franchise.
It's your franchise.
Mhm. They've been doing
Somebody else
good.
go.
One of my favorite games on the
Well-
Xbox 360 was Ghost Recon Future Soldier
Yeah.
when it first
Yeah.
came out. It was like one of the first games that ever came out on the console, and it was so much fun. There was a multiplayer mode where it's just waves, and you just had to defeat waves of bad guys.
I
Damn.
can only picture Luigi doing all of this now.
No.
John Luck was on. So,
I know.
no, Josh, what I wanted to ask was like, so with Ubisoft games,
Ubisoft.
Oopsie
Yeah.
like, is there something like compared to like Call of Duty, or that you see compared to like Destiny that like you liked a little bit more than these, like in these genres?
I
Probably
never
Ghost
got into
Recon.
Call of Duty. Call of Duty. I never got into those games.
If I would say this, it was like Halo was the
Mhm.
first to be like revolution, like no, GoldenEye, then Halo,
Mhm.
then like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1 were like
Mhm.
the revolutionary pillars of like first person shooter.
Yeah.
And then later on it became like Battlefield and Division, then like kind of just went everywhere.
Mhm.
So I'm like, in a sense, like if you played a first person shooter, you kind of played how a Call of Duty
Yeah.
is.
I the only thing I can say with these ones is the maps always feel incredibly big
Mm-hmm.
in a sense that you can play for hours and you're just exploring the map and doing these side missions. And
Ubisoft is really good at their sandbox games, like as far as like open world.
That's
Yeah,
Assassin's
like-
Creed, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
same
Uh,
vein.
Okay, I see.
The map of collectibles.
yeah,
you know.
and it's just an interesting, like specifically like with Division, there's interesting scenarios.
Yeah.
You know, of being in
Like?
like a
Oh, I love-
post-apocalyptic New York or Washington D.C. or
Mhm.
something like that, or like Far Cry 5 was just an interesting.
It was a phenomenal game.
Yeah, it was a phenomenal game. It was just a fun system.
Co-op the whole thing together with someone if you wanted.
Yeah,
Which
It
is
was-
like, to me, is one of the. I think I probably talk about this on every time we bring up video games. but
Co-op.
I don't give a fuck if there's only one protagonist. Let me play the game with my friend.
yeah.
I'm
Halo
about
did
that.
fine. There was 2 Master
Imagine
Chiefs,
a
3 Master
co-op
Chiefs.
Batman
Whatever.
I don't give a shit. Yeah, do it.
And there's 2 Batman.
That's fine.
We are Batman.
Or one. Yeah,
See?
one of you could be a different version. Like one of you
No.
has like blue and gray. and
The
one of you
recent
has-
rumor is that you actually, if you do second player with the new Arkham
Robin?
games, you would play as one of the Bat family.
That's fine. Like let us choose. That'd be great.
That's fun.
Like
They
what
have
they
alternate
did
playable
in
characters anyways.
what they did in
It's rumor.
at least I only had the GameCube version of like Return of the King video game
Mm.
is you could play co-op and you got to pick anyone from the Fellowship
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
and you would unlock them as you'd go, right? So you had Gandalf the White.
Full of a took?
Yeah,
Aragorn.
you had Merry and Pippin. They each had special
Stuff was
moves.
so
Gimli,
cool.
Legolas.
How much
So
lumber
one of
spread?
you would choose if it was like a Gandalf, there was like 3 storylines. There was like a Aragorn, Gandalf, Legolas, I think, and you had to play through them once as those characters, and you could play through them again as anyone. But the entire co-op, your friend could pick whoever they wanted from the pool. It was fucking dope.
I did.
It
s-
was dope.
I did see a
love
funny
that shit.
meme about Gandalf where it was like he tricks all his friends of leaving and he kills the boss for himself to get all the
Oh,
experience.
yeah.
All the comes back as a new
He comes back
character,
with
new
all the
class, new outfit.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, he's an asshole.
Yeah.
I could get
that's
into
him.
the lore of that sometime.
Oh no,
Do this
wait.
again.
See
See, the Maiar were
Okay, no.
basically angels.
I was all about the co-op games though. Like
Okay.
I wish there would have been more of them in my childhood because my sister was very good. Shout out to Bethany about being the one that always had the controller. I was the one that had the other controller that wasn't, plugged in.
Shout out to my sister.
You're doing it.
You're doing it. Good job.
You're the pixel on the top right. Let's pin that actually because I think that'd be a cool conversation to have. But Ollie or Corey, what's your favorite franchise that you want to talk about? Another one,
Who'd
a
do
different
it?
one.
Yeah, because Halo's
Oh,
still
Because
my
one.
before, yeah, it was Halo, and then you
Wait,
had Destiny.
what?
I was going to give an update on.
Halo.
Surprise.
Same.
Corey.
Yeah.
Go for it. I
Yeah.
have another franchise I can
Expand
talk
Oh,
it.
it
about.
actually is technically different.
Yeah.
Well, not a different franchise. But
Okay,
different
okay.
skills.
Destiny.
Destiny.
Great segue.
That's why I didn't want to talk about it at the start because I'm talking about it now. So 2 years when we first played this, all of us were playing Destiny 2. It was launched. It was
Not
like
me.
2 weeks after the game had come out.
I
Fresh.
stopped playing about 2
Everybody
weeks after
important
that.
Right.
By the way.
Oh yeah, you and like everybody else.
Yeah.
I never played it at then, but then I played a lot of it when I got it
Yeah.
because
So
I didn't have the money.
So the issue that happens when you keep everything super secret and you want players to discover things, and then when there's nothing to discover, then people are like, "What
All right, I'm gonna play
the
something else
fuck?"
then.
And they move on. And then internet outrage ensued. We had
This is a brief synopsis.
so
of
much has
Destiny.
happened in
It
2
is, yeah.
years. I'm not going to go over it because the stories are out there. But essentially, right now, my favorite franchise is still Destiny, for a lot of really exciting reasons, even more so than it was 2 years ago, if that's even freaking possible.
It is.
Number
Sounds
one,
like it is.
Number one big update since then is Activision is no longer in the picture.
Right.
At this point.
Bungie has dissolved their relationship with Activision since then and are now independently publishing Destiny. Number two is that it's free to play now. Like you can hop on, download Destiny 2 on Steam, which is another major change
At this point.
in 2019.
And they're allowing you to bring your saves over from platform to
Right.
platform.
Well, it's cross save. So you
Right.
can just be like, well, which set of characters from which platform are going to be my universal characters? You pick that. I picked my PS4 characters. That became my universal. So
Yep.
if I pick up an Xbox, pick up on PC,
Pick
it's
up
the
right where
same.
you left off.
Pick up right where you left off. It's pretty sweet.
I find that to
Um,
be so cool.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing for me is that they're doubling down on the RPG aspects of the game, which is one of the main reasons. Not one. I mean, we won't know for sure, but it's one of the reasons why they departed from Activision. Activision wanted to keep Destiny more of like a Call of
Looter
Duty.
shooter.
Well, they wanted to. Activision wanted
Well,
it to be more
installments.
like AAA, Call of Duty, action-packed
Here's a small
cinematic.
Right.
story. Here's a
They
small
wanted an
story.
FPS action shooter.
Mhm.
Destiny or Bungie wants it to be an action MMO RPG with
Right.
with more building,
Story.
customization, and
Warframe.
they've already
So you
started
feel
that.
more you. It's not like here's the 4 builds you can have.
Right. And I feel like they're finally getting to where they've actually started to deliver on a lot of their promises from like 5 years ago, which is
Whoa.
you log on and there's something always going on. And I was just showing Caitlyn the calendar of events for like every season. Every
It's like
season, it's
every
about 3
week.
months. Every 3 months is a new season. There's like once a week, maybe even sometimes 2 times a week, there's like new things that happen, new events. I walked into a new space one week, not even expecting it. An entire new activity had come that is like better than any activity that had come before it. And I was just
Whoa.
like, what on earth? And then,
Wow.
so there's like new stuff left and right. There's players that like complete certain tasks that affect the rest of the world that like, it's really fun.
Spyro
it's
is
a great
there.
place.
Spyro. Oh
Do you
my
ever
god.
play on PS4 anymore?
I do. My clan is PS4 based. So if I'm playing with friends, it's going to be on PS4.
When can
Yeah,
I
I
play?
know.
Anytime you get on.
When
Let me know.
when you stop playing with your stepbrother.
You have four
Wow.
other games to finish.
Yeah.
I don't have to
But
finish
what
them.
about
I can keep
me?
playing them until I do finish them.
So that's, but I mostly play like solo on PC and it's nice.
Oh.
So
Um,
yeah, lots. It's come along.
Tom or me?
I can go.
Yeah.
So the franchise I did last time was Super Smash Bros. Nintendo boy. But
Since then, a new
And
one's
I
come
think
out.
he
A new one's
said,
coming out.
I think you said it last time like that too. Smash, just like that.
But yeah, so a new one came out and I played it and it's great. It's cool. It's fun. It's polished. It's like Melee, but a little bit slower. There's a little bit more nuance in like how characters work. They have much more laid out names of like how characters are,
And a lot
also,
more characters.
they're like, hey, this is shadow character, so they like work like that, but a little variant. And then their fighter pack was like, hey, we're going to do 5 characters, and that's it, we're done. Masahiro Sakurai is like, peace. He did that GIF where it's like, and then disappears, where the peace sign disappears. But apparently with the last fighter pass character, they were just like, also, there's gonna be more fighters. It's like, no shit, because we want it. We want to see Sora. We want to see Master Chief. We want to see Spyro in there. We want to see
Waluigi.
Crash or some shit. Because they're like, all the next ones we
They
want to
haven't
do.
put him in yet, right?
No.
Waluigi.
They said the next few they want to put in are non-Nintendo characters. And I'm like, yo, you can put Batman in that bitch, baby.
Master Chief would make me get the game.
Yeah, for sure.
Just want to put it out
But
there.
I don't want to
put that out
I
there.
don't want to talk about Smash Bros. As a franchise in terms of like a favorite franchise. The one I was thinking about it really hard and really long. I was like, should I go with Pokemon? I don't know, because I've talked about it before. But I think the one that I want to like, I don't want to sleep on, and I want people to get woke about, fucking Megaman NT Warrior on Game Boy. I fucking
3DS?
love that game. No, just Game
Oh,
Boy. It
Game
started
Boy
with Game
Color?
Boy Advance.
Okay.
So everyone knows the character Mega Man.
Yes.
He's a robot kid boy from the future, and then robots took over, and so
He's a
fights
Mega
them,
Man.
Lots of blue.
right?
Some would say.
So this was a further branching of the character. So there's another branch called X, which was supposed to be he was a Maverick hunter, and everything's robots and everything called
dope
Reploid,
as shit.
and he was more like adult anime boy. And then
He had a
NT
cape.
Warrior was more of like a manga that was like more in line with like Pokemon, Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and all that stuff. Well, a battle genre manga, anime.
Proud of you.
And so the story starts with the kid named Lan. Lan, like Lan.
Yeah,
Kid.
Before
and
time.
His father created a program, a chip called a Navi or a Navi. And you have it like a little,
Pronounced NVIDIA.
you have it like a little iPhone or a little Digivice, and that's where you
Pokedex.
would load your character. And that character was Mega Man. But there's other characters that were homage to other characters in the Mega Man lore, such as like Roll, who is his sister, Proto Man, who had the drill in the arm, but his was turned to an energy blade. There were other characters, so it's all in the future, and there's always a Dr. Wily and shit. But the franchise went to like several games. So like there was like
Yeah, there's a
they
lot.
did the Pokemon thing where they did red and blue, black and
Oh.
white, green and and I was like, oh no. I need to have them
All of them.
all.
and each had something different.
Yeah, so I mean, each game was a continuation of the last one, which was great. So you got to stick with one character, but obviously you're like, well, why do I have no shit? So the way you would fight is actually on a 3x3 grid. That's your fighting field, and then the opponent would have their own fighting field. So you'd fight against like another Mega Man character. So like, let's say Guts Man, who's the giant guy with the big bite with the giant arms. But you would get a deck, so like a dueling deck of cards of
Of
chips.
course, this is
And then
Tom's
you
thing.
make them you use them as programs to your Mega Man. So one's like a regular Buster, and so you get to use it. You always will be able to blast people with like just regular B button, but when you use the
Your
program,
special, essentially.
that's your special. So you
That's
can like
awesome.
destroy pieces of the field, or you could combine them, and they become mega
Like
programs.
Kirby.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, when you beat one of the characters, what is Mega Man most known for? To get the opponent's abilities. So then you can combine it with him and then turn into those
Oh.
versions in the game.
Quick shout out to Kyle Robinson.
Kyle Robinson.
He's played all of the Mega Man games,
Oh.
at least the original,
Wow.
The original one.
like main.
Those are great platformers.
Yeah.
I was never really good at platformers as a kid, but then playing this, I was like, okay, so like, and so in terms of gameplay, it's like very much like Golden Sun.
yeah.
So like you walk around to different towns and different sections, and like once you go to the edge of the screen, like it fades to black, and then you're a new part of the loaded town. But it made a lot of like homage to different Capcom properties, which are great. I fucking love that game because like what you did with your Navi. So the action would be called Jack In, and so I'd be like,
Nice.
I'm going to jack into this room, and then jack off,
Wow.
right? So you jack into a room,
Jesus.
and then you have access to that computer, and so you would play then as Mega Man, and you would walk through what their version or interpretation of what the internet was, and so there would be high speed runways, and you like go down to the undernet, and then like you'd fight viruses and
dark web.
programs. It was I
Tron.
fucking love that game, and you could say probably like that, but like. And then they made an anime based off of it too that played during WB. So like I was just like, I am here for all this. And it's like the way to sell me on it. I mean,
You're
obviously,
in all my life.
the Super Edgelord Supreme. Like there's a character named Bass, or some would say it's Forte, or some would say it's Grave, based on wherever you read it or watched it from or played it. And it's Bass from Bass from the original ones, who is black guy, the guy with all black with the yellow big ear.
Oh yeah,
things.
yeah.
And he's like really dope character because he just
I'm
comes
sure
in.
Kyle
with
could tell us how to pronounce it.
I think it's Bass.
I think it's Bass.
Yeah.
I think it's for sure Bass. It's not Bass. And depending if you read it, it's Forte. If you watch the anime, it's called Grave.
Okay.
So it's really weird.
Hmm.
And they made some liberties to it, but I loved it.
So Mega Man would be
Mega Man and T Warrior specifically. They later on discontinued the brand because they were like, let's try a new one, because they were like, we made 7 mobile games and then different versions of them. How many can we do? And then they're like, let's do a new one. So they did like Star Force, which was like an alien came from space and now it combines with the kid and it's like, so it became Star Kid. And I was like,
it's like when they tried to
Oh.
do Star Fox Adventures and everyone's like, this is not why we buy Star Fox games.
Right.
well, I mean, yeah, it's interesting.
We
to
buy them to pilot.
It's interesting to see like their exploration of how can they reinvigorate Mega Man. And like not recently, but by the time this recorded came out, like maybe several months ago, Mega Man 11, which is an original platformer, they came in, they're like, we're going to add a mechanic where you can reverse time. And so it's called like, and they added a mechanic where
Dope.
they can overdrive, so speed up time. So
Like
it's
that Mario where they added, or no, Zelda where they added, you could like put yourself into the wall.
Yeah. So
I
that's
would take another Mega Man Legends. I love those games.
yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's fun to see what they can do with Mega Man as a character, and I think Mega Man is getting close to Sonic in terms of how poorly he's been treated by like
Not quite.
not quite.
Let's wait till the movie comes out.
Getting close.
I
but
mean,
not
yeah,
quite.
but like I just feel like, oh man, no one
Lost
talks
but
about
not
Mega
forgotten.
Man. Yeah,
Mega
Mega Man's kind of becoming like, you know, like for Disney, Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse is the fucking guy. But then like, where's the last Mickey Mouse movie?
Who would you cast as Mega Man? Live action.
I wouldn't. I would do it as an animated film, like
Christian
Astro
Bale?
Boy,
Got it.
There you go.
What? Mega Man is
Um,
not. No.
Christian Bale.
voiced
No.
by Tom Holland, because
Oh.
everyone wants
Tom
it.
Hardy would actually be hilarious.
No,
No.
but Dr. Wily voiced by
Hilarious.
Ewan McGregor.
Jim
Yeah.
Carrey.
Hello there.
But yeah, Mega Man NT Warrior.
Cool.
Corey.
Yes.
What's yours?
So everyone knows Halo is my favorite franchise of all time, but I do play a lot of games. I play a lot of video games.
And a lot of different types of games.
I play a lot of different types of games. I have a lot of friends back home. That's how I keep connected with them. So it's
Shout out
kind
to
of
your
my,
friends back
my
home.
way
Mhm.
of staying up with it. I mean, besides Halo, besides Knights of the Old Republic series, which is like probably up there next to Halo, but they haven't made a new one in 10 plus
Wow.
years.
Yeah.
Good hot
Even
minute.
though Obsidian keeps saying they want to, but Disney keeps denying them. So
Who?
Mhm.
For Star Wars?
Obsidian wants to make
Yeah.
Knights of the Old Republic 3. One of
Wasn't that a
the top
BioWare, though?
guys. BioWare and Obsidian worked on them together. This one's Obsidian.
Obsidian did the second one.
Yeah. The second one was my favorite. So there was a guy who works at Obsidian, and he was talking about how like every 6 months or so someone brings it up. It's like Knights of the Old Republic 3, and they're like, we can't still.
Yeah.
We'll look into it. And every time Disney goes, no.
Obsidian's a fantastic company, fantastic developers.
Yeah. They also made New Vegas.
New Vegas. They did BioShock 2.
Yeah.
Because
Well.
Disney's like, hey, let us fuck up our own franchise ourselves.
But if I had to pick
Yep.
another one that's more recent, Borderlands is up there. I've been playing a little bit of 3, not too much, but I played a ton of 2. I probably beat
Mhm.
2 like 3 or 4 times.
How's the pre-sequel?
baby.
I didn't play that as much.
Oh,
I played it once.
that was a lawyer
It was
question.
okay.
I heard it's
Yeah.
not great.
It was okay.
Here's the
It
thing.
just wasn't.
As far as like within the Borderlands series, it wasn't great, but as a video game, it was
It's a
fantastic.
top video game, yeah.
as
like,
an experience.
It's still,
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
When
because at the
com-
end of the day,
and
it's still
compared to like
Borderlands.
other ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still a first person shooter RPG, which is
Yeah.
like everything I want.
I mean, that's always a question too of like how much weight do you want to put in story versus gameplay?
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
Mario Party,
mean, it was an interesting
Super
story.
Mario 1, there's no story.
Yeah.
You're just jumping. Call it
yeah.
Jumpman.
But
Yeah.
Borderlands 3 so far is pretty great. Tried out a little bit of the Halloween event that they got going on. Pretty
Nice.
fantastic. But yeah, it's that like I think it has some of the best writing in a video game as far as like satire and comedic effects.
It's the sense of humor. Of
yeah, it's a
everything.
really
the
really
equipment, the scenarios.
kind of over the top sense of humor.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody, but I love it. I
Yeah,
think
I
it's,
love it.
while I'm playing a game, it's the type of sense of humor that I'd like. Kind of a little in your face, over the top. Like,
Mhm.
oh, I can't believe you said that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I'd say that's my second favorite one.
Mhm.
Specifically Borderlands 2 so far. 3 is pretty great, but there were just so many good classes in 2.
2 is just, yeah.
With the DLC, like the bonus classes, like the Psycho and
Does 3 hold up to kind of the
yeah,
love of 2?
I mean 3 has a lot more mechanics that I think make the game a lot better,
Mhm.
but the classes aren't as fun for me, I guess, if that makes sense. I think they're great. I think it feels unique. Like the hunter feels like a hunter type character. The operative feels like an operative type character. But there were just some things that the classes did in 2. Like I played as the Necromancer in 2, which was a DLC character. She was fantastic. And you got to like build this little bot that came out and basically like zapped people's eyes and like.
It was all about Zero.
Yeah, Zero was really great.
You couldn't get me off of Zero.
I was more of the Necromancer and Axton, who was the
main guy.
operative essentially.
I loved Zero's like
He has a turret.
like what he would say in combat, like things like that. I just love his little
and
comments.
he pops up in 3
Sassy.
as well, and he only
They all
speaks
do.
in haikus, which
Yeah.
is fantastic. But yeah, I'd say Borderlands is pretty high up there with that, and the Red. I mean, to be honest, now that I'm talking about it, Red Dead series is like on such a high pedestal for me that like it's hard because I expected a lot from it. And I know that that's not a great thing to go into something new and different, especially when it's like 10 years later after the first game to like get your hopes up like that. But
Shout out to Zombieland.
I was like
delivered.
not disappointed
Yeah.
at all. In fact, I think this is a better game than the first one, which is.
Do you
which
think
is
it's
hard
a
to do.
better game than you thought it was?
No, because I had really high expectations for it. I was like, it needs to be able to do these certain things, and then it did all of those, and then was like, oh, by the way, we also did all of these other things, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, what?
This wouldn't be as good as it is without GTA 5. 100%. Like
Probably,
like,
yeah.
Well, I mean,
they've come a long way.
on that note, I mean, I was thinking about like how you get games, because you were mentioning that they had changed a bunch since 2 to 3, but technology has changed as well. The
Yeah.
They've made
ability
a
to
lot
like
of games since then.
with Far Cry, like I played a little Far Cry 4, or even the Ghost Recon games,
Played a
or
lot
even
of
Division
3.
2. Like as you move forward, they learn to do new things.
Yeah.
Or the systematic, even like games have much more shelf life nowadays. They want them to have seasons. They want them to.
Red
so
Dead
they
Online is
change.
fantastic. As
Games
well.
as service.
Yeah, and so it's interesting to see how they change, and then when they go to the next game, they're going, well, it's this, and then better, or there's more to it. Or
It can be.
something like
I mean,
that.
sometimes they miss the mark though. Like there's been
Yeah.
plenty of games like I love the franchise, but shout out to Halo 5. Like that was way off mark.
Yeah.
And you'd think that by the 5th main title, really it's their 6th game, 7th
Yeah.
game,
Well, especially
7th game.
Yeah.
Because ODST and Reach.
Yeah.
Well, 4 was 343's first game,
And 4 was great.
and 4 was
to be
great. They
honest.
were on a great path with
In-
like they were going into deep lore,
Introducing the light
and-
weapons and
yeah.
stuff like that was fantastic.
And I
then
was like, this
That's
is
the Forerunners,
cool.
right?
The Forerunners, and
5 just
5 just kind of went away from that.
they
and
took some risks, which is like
Yeah.
you should take risks, but they should be a little more calculated than that. Like in a
Right.
series that's based around one character for 7 games, to make you not play as that character a majority of the time.
I mean,
is
Yeah.
probably
Well, I think they were trying to hard switch away from Master Chief, and
Well,
it's like,
deja vu here for a minute.
Yeah.
If you think about it, like shout out to our Halloween video game episode where we talked about Resident Evil. Like they went several
Right.
iterations later, and then it's like, this is not good anymore, guys. Let's go back to a little bit of the formula, and then they made
Yeah.
like
which
fucking
is
20
which
games.
is what they're doing with
Yeah.
Infinite. Like
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
like the CEO or whoever's in charge of
Yeah.
343
COO,
came out and just said some things
Creative,
like, "Hey,
whatever.
we hear you. Like this next game is going to be Master Chief only." Like
Mhm.
I mean, the hard thing is they didn't really learn from their mistakes, because even 2, where you had to play as the Arbiter half the time, is one of the, in my books and at least in my friend circle, the story is just kind of like, meh.
Yeah.
And then 3 came back and saved it, because guess what? You're just
it's
Master
just
Chief.
Master
again.
Chief.
I love the second
So
It has its moments. It's not a
For
bad
sure.
game. Again,
Yeah.
it's all relative.
again,
but like,
relative within
one.
the
Where are you
franchise.
going to finish the fight?
Yeah. Speaking of which, at the time of recording this, it turned 15 the other day, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
Nice.
Maybe check out our update episode. I don't know.
Maybe.
Mhm.
So let's go back and unpin that thing. What game do you think any of them that you currently played that were single player that you could probably pick and choose that
All of
would
them.
benefit? You have to pick one. benefit from being a couch co-op.
Here's the thing: Red Dead Redemption 2 has online, and it's been pretty great. I've played it a few times with some buddies, and you posse up, and you get like 3 or 4 of you on there, and you're all riding horses, completing missions,
the
and it's a fucking blast.
I was gonna say Red Dead Redemption 2 only because I personally, I mean, Red Dead Online was fun, but I would have loved to have played through the story campaign with you or my brother,
Yeah.
and like been in that kind of place and
Yeah.
not on the in the
Strangely-
online.
Welcome to the Red
Um,
Dead episode, guys.
Strangely, even though I joke that any game, like there is such a, for me personally, because I usually am on board with it, like I think I still would have enjoyed playing through that. But the thing about like Rockstar games is there's something genuinely unique about their solo player games, and I can't pin down what it is. That
It's
being
the
isolated
thing-
and just being you paying attention to this narrative is a greater good than being able to
Yeah.
co-op. So I actually might disagree there.
So-
that might be the one.
So you
caveat.
renege on your whole couch co-op would benefit everybody. Okay.
No, but
Sometimes
it's like
I'm just saying that the thing that holds you back should not be the protagonist.
It's
Like,
the thing
oh,
that makes it okay for you to like hunt your deer, put it on the back of your horse, and like slowly just walk into town,
Get hit by a deer.
enjoying the like. I've like
Horse hits a
slow
tree.
walked on the horse many times, just looking around, just enjoying the scenery.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then you're like, oh, I'm gonna stop over here. So it's like,
Having said that, I would absolutely play it if it was co-op.
oh, 100%.
Yeah.
So Josh, you just Red Dead probably?
I mean, it is one of those things that it's a joke, but there are some games like even this
Final
one
Fantasy
in front of me, Horizon Zero Dawn. I didn't get to mention it last episode
yeah.
because it was out at that time. One of my favorite games I've played, and if I had the experience of playing this with a
For
friend,
sure.
man, that would be great.
Oh.
It's a great story. It was
Phenomenal.
a lot. It was a phenomenal design. The story, once you're at the end, you're like, whoa. But playing it with a friend would have been any game that I play that's solo. I'd welcome a friend to come along.
Yeah.
Like whatever that means. If they're taking on like,
What if
Final
they're taking all
Fantasy.
your loot?
that's not the way that I view co-op.
Oh, that's the way I play co-op.
That's good for you.
That's why we don't play games
That's
with
why
Tom.
all games have slowly removed
Well,
like,
now that you do
group loot.
you do
It's
yeah, you
all
do split loot.
It's all your single
Yeah.
loot. Like Diablo 3 was like no more group loot. It's all
Mhm.
solo loot.
It's
I mean,
also
So sorry, guys.
I mean,
evil.
that's the thing about it. Like the very big difference between co-op versus like an MMO kind of thing. Like Red Dead Online, I got really old for me because I would log in and just be my brother and I would be like, okay, we're gonna go do this thing, and then just like this.
That's done, by the way, now.
Oh, really?
Because now you can not only can you parlay, meaning you have 10 minutes that they can't shoot you or do anything to you, you can also press charges, meaning all of the
Whoa.
sheriffs suddenly they get a star rating if they kill you out of nowhere and you didn't
Wow.
start the fight.
Wow.
And then also,
Wow.
since there's a bounty hunter class now, all the bounty hunters on the map are alerted of their whereabouts and
That is
they
dope.
get a reward for it. So a lot less
Whoa.
people are doing that.
I would not gonna
I'd
lie.
imagine.
I would want to play
I'm gonna
just so
play
I could
this
become
now,
a bounty
dude.
hunter.
I know. I
It's
want
dope.
to go home and be a bounty
The bounty
hunter.
hunter storyline is fantastic in the online.
because
Shit.
I'm not gonna
What?
lie.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, playing online and see that's the difference. Couch co-op versus playing online.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that online co-op. Like to me, online co-op. Hey, you got a target on your back, man. That's how it is out in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But like a couch co-op, it's like no, we're playing within the game. We're playing within the campaign.
right.
You know.
Hmm.
If I had to pick a specific game that I've played recently that I would like to have co-op on, I would have to say. I mean, I played through Knights of the Old Republic 2. I had Lord of the Rings Third Age is one of my favorite games growing up, and it's actually a co-op turn-based RPG, and it's fucking phenomenal.
Oh.
It's a couch co-op.
One
but
that you would like to become a co-op.
that's what I'm saying. Knights of the Old Republic 2.
Okay.
Since it's the same thing, it's like it's kind of turn-based, kind of real-time in a sense, where you pause it and you tell everyone like, okay, when we unpause, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do this, and you're gonna do this. And like, I would love for two friends to be able to take over 1 and 2. One person controls
That
the
would be
time,
cool.
right?
Yeah.
Like, all right, I stopped it. Everyone choose. Let me know when you're ready.
Mhm.
You ready? Ready? All right. Unpause. Let them do the attacks. And
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So
Mm.
that would be one that I would really like to see as a co-op game.
Hmm.
I think, yeah.
It looks like you just like to the gods.
I was like,
Maybe.
I just give me a
Yes.
third one. That's all I want. It doesn't have to be co-op. Like, forget that.
Ollie, couch co-op.
Also, Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah, any
Co-op.
Fallout games, really. Well, in the same vein, I've always thought, what it'd be like to have a Legend of Zelda be couch co-op? And I think there's like 3
swords.
DS. Is there? Yeah, 4 swords. Like
Four
that's
swords.
kind of there, but like I mean,
Like a Breath of the Wild.
give me Breath of the
So,
Wild.
I was thinking about it. I was like, that would be kind of cool. And I would call it Hero of Two Times. And do two
Sure.
different links.
2 different links from 2 different
times.
timelines. Like you're
So you
like
can play as
Whoa.
young Link,
but you can
play
get in spaces, but you're not as powerful versus like.
That's
and then
how
you're
I would
helping
do-
each other solve the dungeon by
Like-
like you got to go over there and step on that thing, so
Like-
this chain happens.
But you could do it
and-
where it's like adult Link is the only one that could turn to a wolf or some of that, and then Kid Link is the only one that could wear the Majora mask or wear the Goron
Yeah.
masks and stuff
and then
like
he
that.
can ride you. It's kind of weird.
Right.
Oh my god.
But that's just the possibilities seem like so limitless with
Yeah.
Legend of Zelda that I would be amazed. Nintendo, I know you're working on that Breath of the Wild 2
I know
sequel.
you're listening, Nintendo.
Give us that. Give us
Like,
that
you
playable
could-
Zelda alongside Link.
You
and
could do
we'll-
that like that magnet ability, and you could just like hit like a ball, and the other one can catch it or something like that.
Make the 2 in Breath of the Wild 2 mean that it's the second person that can play, like Zelda.
Oh, okay. Well,
let us
TOO.
give us actual
Sheik.
Zelda. And then,
Zelda 2
and then that could be the origin
also.
story of Sheik, maybe in
Yeah.
this universe.
yeah. Oh, I
Then the
didn't
third
think- I
one
didn't
would
think
be
about
Zelda
that.
2 also, yeah.
Yeah.
How about what about Legend of Link Zelda?
Legend of Link.
And you play as Zelda.
So it's like a red and blue thing.
Anyways, yeah. Caitlyn, any couch co-op games you'd want in the world that you don't have right now?
I feel like in the
Couch or
last
online co-op, right?
in the last 8 years, I've really only played games with friends. Like I played
Spyro.
Hell yeah.
well
Co-op Spyro.
Shout
well,
out
I
to
was
friends.
playing that
But I'm saying physically they could also play it.
that
That's
would
the
be
question.
Good.
What game do you wish they could physically play? Not be near you while you play, or
So we
you near
have-
them while
I
they
know,
play a
I know,
single
I
game.
understand. I'm just saying I don't think I would want that for Spyro. I like it being the single
Okay.
player that it is.
Mm.
But I would say like Graveyard Keeper. Those resource management
Two
games.
farmers.
Yeah.
Can you harvest my body parts for me?
The only
I'm
time I
busy.
play Minecraft is co-op.
Right.
'Cause it's fun to, like,
Exactly along.
What are you doing over there? Oh, I'm
those
just
lines.
building this fucking thing. Whoa, that's
Yeah.
awesome. What are
Yeah.
you doing? I'm just building a fucking thing over here.
It is funny. It is fun to share a server. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. So especially because there's just so many tiny steps, you can coordinate with another person. Because even when I'm like streaming Graveyard Keeper, I'm going like, where was I just at like 2 minutes ago? Because I've
Chat's
done
probably helping
6
you and
other
stuff.
thait Chat
Yeah.
does help me.
Yeah.
Chat like tells me where things are and like what
Throws
I was
bits
working
at you.
on, throws bits at me.
One by one.
The forever hero chat.
But
Shout
you
out
know,
to
if
the
I
night.
had another person to play with, then we could be delineating like who's going here, you go over here, and like
Or sharing resources in a sense. Oh, I already have that. Why don't we go complete that?
Exactly.
Like
part
a
of the
slower
objective.
paced Overcooked.
Or you take them all.
Yes.
Take all the
Overcooked.
resources.
You're the guy who
man.
takes the meal when he doesn't need it.
like some of the other stuff in the Graveyard Keeper storyline is like you have to appease these people who you know are bad people. So like you could have different like one person could have their own storyline with that person. You could have a different one. So maybe they're siding with them more and you're not, but you don't know that because of their choices are separate than yours. I don't know. Something along those lines would be cool, I think.
Tom?
Yeah.
Batman.
Oh, okay.
Batman all day.
Batman.
Who
Like,
gets to be Robin?
well, the thing is, you could choose
You
which
could
Robin.
choose-
There's multiple Robins.
I would
just
be
saying,
Nightwing
Batgirl.
all
I'm just saying,
day.
we're all gonna be fighting
thing
over
is-
Batman.
There's Red Hood
Not
too.
me.
And you
Somebody be
unlock
Alfred?
Alfred.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Actually-
With the shotgun eventually.
Hell yeah!
Oh, that'd be a super like. Remember back in the day when you'd have to like use cheat codes to unlock random bullshit characters?
mhm.
Like you play like
Stan Lee.
Stan Lee, but then you can play
I
as
still
like,
have
Spider-Man
that
and
with
like
that unlocked.
so you can play as Spider-Man and Tony Hawk. You know, like you play as random ass characters. So it's like you
Oh,
unlock.
Tony Hawk. I
the
haven't played
random
that in
character here.
forever.
But,
I
like,
played it last week with
like-
Mikey.
oh really?
Shout out
I-
to the night.
Oh.
There was a PlayStation game, a DC game called like Earth's Mightiest Heroes or something like that. It's a DC game. So it's all about the Justice League and it's like based off the Bruce Timm version of it. So like you could play as Martian Manhunter, you can play as John Stewart Green Lantern, Wally West Flash. And it's like top down, so it's like whatever, it's passable. I was like, cool, I'm playing it. It's not Superman 64. But like playing that with the Arkham Rocksteady like engine and how they go about making their games. Like if you were just tag team fighting, because they have missions where you play with against with Nightwing and your Batman and vice versa. But like you'll play as Catwoman and all that stuff. And then imagine just like, oh, the possibilities of like, what if you just did like a Rogues Gallery version of it where it's like
Yeah.
you're playing as the villains against Batman.
Yeah.
Like,
Like Joker and Scarecrow and
That'd be
Catwoman.
sweet.
well, just like
I would
Poison
be
Ivy.
about
Like
that.
imagine Poison Ivy. Like imagine like I just made a game in my head. Imagine like a tower defense game where Batman has to get to you, and then like you're like Scarecrow and Poison Ivy, and then you just like unlock traps and stuff like that.
That'd be dope.
Warner Brothers.
I love that you
We
know
know
how
you're
like
listening.
in those tower defense games, it's always like one army and then like a horde of armies and then like a big tank.
It's just Batman.
It's just Batman every single level.
yeah, it's just like I got my armor. I'm Batman.
It's Batman and the Gotham PD.
Oh,
There it is.
Okay, so there's more
that'd
PD behind
be
him,
cool.
or more allies behind him.
Yeah.
Cannon fodder.
Yeah.
Superman shows up at
That
the
would
end.
be
People can pick. You can
so
pick either the rogue side, and
great.
if you're on Batman's side, like the characters are all the Bat family,
Ah.
or you got Gordon, and he has like special. You can like call
just
in a
developed a game.
tank or a
DC, you're
chopper.
welcome.
DC tower defense game.
Oh,
Oh my
man.
God.
You are welcome.
Onto something.
Arkham Escape Arkham.
I want that so bad now.
Right? We all want it.
the escape of Arkham Asylum.
Did, did everybody say
Escape
what they
from
wanted
Arkham.
for
I like it.
co-op?
I was going to
So-
mention kind of a a special shout out to a game that Tom and I got a lot of joy out of, Strange Brigade.
Oh, okay.
That was a co-op
yeah.
game that was
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
that was
That you
not
want to
what-
make co-op or
No, it was co-op.
Oh.
I was just kind of
Bringing it, giving
like
a little
horde
shout
mode.
out.
A little bit of love to the co-op.
Yeah.
I wanted
Since you brought up,
Ollie, did you say?
Yeah.
since you brought up tower defense,
listening.
What did I mention?
I wanted to bring up
Forgot. Oh, Legend of Zelda.
Oh yeah.
mobile games.
MOBA.
What mobile
A mobile.
games, phone games,
Ooh, mobile.
are you
Hmm.
guys playing? Right now.
Instagram.
We don't
Twitter.
use that word
Instagram,
around here.
Well, no, I know.
Facebook.
Before you were doing like Pokemon Go, you were doing.
I don't do
Star
any of those
Wars.
anymore.
Not at all.
No, I don't
closest-
have time for it.
The most I've
unfortunately.
ever been
Fair.
in one was for like a 2-month stretch, and it was Marvel Contest of Champions.
That was
Oh.
pretty fun.
And the only reason I kept playing was because I immediately drew like a 5-star Ronin and was just like owning
Destroying.
every single battle. And now Ronin is one of my favorite villains.
Wow.
I mean, I was playing that for a little bit. I played a little bit of Injustice 2, and then I played a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links on there. But like Pokemon's probably the most consistent.
That DC game you played for a while.
If Nintendo put
Oh,
Pokemon
like the
trading
Star
card
Wars
game,
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
if Pokemon trading card game came to mobile, it'd be over.
Yeah, that's fair.
They had Pokemon Pinball
They
for
have
Always.
Knights of the Old Republic on there on mobile HD remake.
Whoa.
They have fucking Final
It's
Fantasy
$10.
7 on mobile.
I haven't
do.
bought it yet, but I'm
I played
thinking
it on
about
that.
You can pair your controller now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I have that controller in there. Yeah. I want to bring up a question from the last one. HD remakes.
HD remakes.
Oh yeah.
HD remakes. What
Well,
game
because
would you
mine
want to
got
see as an
answered.
Final
HD
Fantasy.
remake?
Final Fantasy 8.
Right,
So
so you gotta
Josh
update
doesn't
your
need to
answer.
So I had to update my answer, and I've been thinking real.
Think-
I want this so bad. Super Mario RPG
Yeah,
on
that's a
Switch.
good-
So wait, how would the
Oh.
graphics look like? What do you imagine? Like Paper
Same
Mario?
graphics, maybe just
Like-
scale it up.
Okay.
Like not go the Paper Mario route, but like an alternate.
It's not Paper
Like
Mario.
You could do
It
like
wasn't
you could
a
do like
paper-
Mario.
Like it was
But that
actually
was
I
like
remember
their
back then.
spiritual successor, wasn't it?
It was
Would
just
you-
the fact that it was a turn-based RPG. That's it.
Suppose, yeah.
Paper Mario had its own jam, which I'm
own
mad you
aesthetic.
brought that up because that's my answer. Is Paper Mario would love an HD remake of Paper Mario.
Ooh.
So I mean,
Or
you could do it
GoldenEye.
like Mario RPG. You could do it like Mario
GoldenEye.
Odyssey.
Yeah.
It was like really bright. But then also, if it's an
Yeah.
HD remake, you could probably put some of those mechanics in there.
Oh yeah.
You could probably put like Lucina
Different
and then put the
power-ups.
hat
Yeah.
and put all that shit.
Yeah.
Last time, Corey, your answers were
Dark
KOTOR
Legacy.
and
That's
Knights-
still my answers, but for the sake of change, I said Paper Mario or GoldenEye.
Paper Mario GoldenEye.
So that's why I was mad he brought it
They
up. I
had
was
a
like, that was
GoldenEye
my-
remake.
Yeah, but
It's Daniel Craig.
it wasn't GoldenEye. It was like, let's change. It's kind of GoldenEye, but we're putting Daniel Craig in it. We're gonna make an entirely new story. Like I want just GoldenEye,
Just GoldenEye. With Pierce Brosnan.
new on a new engine.
On the Switch with a gold cartridge.
Yeah, like I'm serious. Like
Whoa.
that would sell.
You're welcome,
and-
Nintendo.
And,
Keep
imagine
them coming. Just let me know.
create the server, make it online, make the multiplayer online.
They'd have
Like you would sell so many copies
to.
of that. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be everywhere.
I mean, we're kind of, even since when we did part 1, there's been a lot of re-releases
Mhm.
and HD
Still no
remakes and
I have a
Gauntlet Dark Legacy
controversial-
though.
I have a
Yeah.
controversial
Gauntlet
answer.
Slayer.
I have a controversial answer.
What is it?
Destiny 1.
Oh my god.
Tell me that
That's
was
the
it.
way
the
Tell
cookie
me-
crumbles.
Tell me what it was.
That's the clip. That's the clip right there. Sorry.
It's a mini N64. I'm sure it's coming.
Yeah. Oh, like the mini
got it, yeah.
Yeah.
Super Nintendo.
But like throw in like 50 games, 50 of the best games
or you
in
just
there.
come to my house where I have my N64.
Or-
and all the
or that,
games.
or I can do that. Let's play some
Or
N64.
they
I
would
have it hooked up. I played
say
Tony Hawk Pro
probably-
Skater 2 days ago.
Josh, I think you and I were about to say they'd probably save the plastic and just do what they did with the NES
emulator?
and SNES,
Yeah.
where you could do with the save states and shit like that.
I am
Oh, yeah.
almost, I am willing to bet money that they're going to do that.
Release that, yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
yeah. It'll
Instead
come.
of doing the mini, just go, here it is on
Switch.
Online, like they did with
$30.
Super Nintendo. Yeah. Well,
Wow.
these were free.
Only
for Switch
this-
Online. Like if
Yeah.
you had Switch Online,
Actually,
it was
no.
free. And,
I was about to say only if they put out a replica controller, but now I'm like, no, I'm okay.
Wow.
That
I don't
controller
need
was
the
terrible.
N64
It
controller.
was bad.
I'll
It was
take my Switch
bad.
Pro controller.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I've been, like I said, I've been playing recently. Paper Mario, first of all, I've been playing through that. But those controllers
I'll
are
take the
shit.
Joy-Cons over
Yeah.
that. Thank you. I'm good.
a single
For-
Joy-Con.
You know, it
I'll
had-
take a single Joy-Con sideways.
so
Yeah.
you could hold it with all 3 of your hands.
All 3 of them.
Man, I don't know. Remaster.
They already did Spyro.
They
so.
they redid Spyro. They
Yeah.
redid Crash.
Yeah.
They did an HD remake of Okami. So I kind of
What if
got.
they do a first-person HD graveyard
Ew, no. I don't want to see all that shit.
First person.
I'm literally
Surround
like
sound.
removing
Yeah.
the skin and fat from
Yeah.
people's bodies. I
Exactly.
don't want that. Donkey Kong Country.
There you go.
Oh,
I
have
would take that.
It's been a
But like
minute.
completely, graphics completely redone.
They have like current versions of them.
What?
But I don't think it's the exact first game, but they're like installations. They're
Did
like
you ever
later
play
versions of
Donkey
them.
Kong 64?
It's phenomenal. It was a great game.
I would love a new version of that.
No. Maybe
Yeah.
I did.
Like a 3D. You
It
could
had
pick
the
any of
Donkey
the
Kong
I
guys.
just remember the
SDK.
SNES.
Donkey Kong is here.
You'd have to go switch characters to like do certain things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah, Donkey
remember
Kong
that.
Country,
This is a great
Tropical
game.
Freeze.
I
It's
didn't
for
play that
Switch.
one.
It's the newest game.
Oh,
No, it's
what?
a
Maybe you should get a
2.5D
Switch.
side scroller.
I just want to switch.
wow.
D-
Stop,
DK.
stop buying new clothes. Stop buying
Donkey
food.
I
Kong.
don't buy
DK.
anything.
Stop buying food.
Caitlyn,
Stop
Donkey
we
buying
Kong
found-
is here.
Stop
Over the
paying your rent.
past
Stop buying
year-
food.
Over the past couple of years, we've found about like 84,000 reasons why you should buy a Switch.
I know. I'm discovering more every day.
So you're
Oh,
into
I
Donkey
just-
Kong Country.
Yeah, Donkey Kong Country.
Tom?
Also realized I never answered my own question of mobile games. It's
Oh.
Pokemon Go and Fire Emblem Heroes.
There you go.
That's
Oh,
what I'm
Fire
doing right
Emblem
now.
Heroes.
Anyway,
Nice.
Tom?
An
Ollie? Oh, you said yours. Never mind.
Yeah.
Tom.
HD
Dustin, you want-
remaster of a game that I think would be great. That's how you fucking
Baldur's
pull on
Gate.
top. I know. I was just
I
looking
think
at
they're
it.
making that.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's supposed to come out. It was supposed to come out in October.
Look, I don't
Did
want
it
to Final
not?
Fantasy 7 this shit. Okay, everyone's making it.
Did it not come out? Wait, did it come out on the
Baldur's
Switch?
Gate, I don't know.
I
It
looked
got
up, I
delayed?
literally just looked it up. There's nothing.
It was supposed to come out the October.
I don't know. We'll find out.
That sucks.
But
I was looking forward to it. I was like, maybe Tom can finally teach me of this Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, it
he's
was going to
talked
be
about.
oh yeah,
a whole thing.
It was like a whole packaged, re-released HD version.
Enhanced edition.
Yeah,
Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2,
yeah.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Damn.
don't know if they were re-releasing 2, but they were at least re-releasing 1,
Oh,
enhanced.
Wow.
yeah.
I haven't. Apparently, it is out, and I haven't.
We
played
should
It.
play it.
We should. I'd totally be down
Is
for
it good?
And it's
Is
on
it-
Switch.
To
Is-
me,
I loved
Com-
Baldur's Gate.
comparing, so like you had us play Gauntlet Dark Legacy on a stream before. I played Baldur's Gate. I prefer Baldur's Gate because it's a little bit more crispy looking comparatively. I haven't beat all of Gauntlet Dark Legacy, but like I remember playing.
It's calling Gauntlet Dark Legacy muddy, by the way. Just wanted to let you know.
It's fucking. it's one
I grew
graphics
up with it.
for
He
another.
didn't. It's fine. He doesn't
Yeah.
know what's good.
Yeah.
Just trying to start
But I
fight.
played. I played Baldur's Gate Dark Legacy like several times over.
Baldur's Gate Dark Legacy.
Wow.
Dark Alliance.
It's like,
Dark,
whoa!
Dark Alliance.
They
It's looking
combined
good.
them.
It's
No,
clean and
This is how it
crisp.
looked like on GameCube. Not
This is great.
not trying to be exaggerative. We're looking at the images for everyone that's listening. But honestly, an HD remake, I would prefer. Think
We
about
should
it.
check it out.
Well, the game there's a game already coming out called Dragon Ball Z Project Kakarot, but I would actually want a Budokai Tenkaichi game, like for an HD remake.
Yeah.
Because the graphics only got better, but the gameplay to me, like on the OG Dragon Ball Budokai games, oh,
Are they
my
bad?
God, it's great.
Oh.
But just imagine if the
Oh, then
It's
you
graphics
hard to
sounded
tell.
got
That was
upset.
like a pained face.
But like
you said the graphics got better, but the and I was like, oh no.
no. So I mean, like the game. Like, well, like
Oh,
imagine
no.
like Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Like the graphics are great.
Yeah.
It looks like what the movie looked like.
Speaking of, you're holding Xenoverse 2. right in your
Xenoverse
hands.
2, yeah.
Unopened.
but, like,
crispy package.
But the fighting style is very different than like a Budokai game, and I like graphics, but it's not the same fighting mechanics.
I see. And you create your own character in that, right?
You create your own character, yeah.
But
But
I'm always
like
down for that.
in the the one that I had the
First
most
3 hours of the game.
memories of is like playing Budokai 3 and Budokai 2, and like those graphics were like the OG PS2 graphics. You know, like this everything's cell shaded.
Yeah.
Like everything has like a thick outline around their body, and you're like, it's good.
Speaking of, just because we brought it up right here, if you want to hook me into a game, wait, I'll preface this. Character creation, customizable character is like a really great way to get me in the game. But if I start playing it and it's the weakest, like you put no effort into this, like you have 4 presets or you have a slider that doesn't really do anything, you have just lost a customer. Because I'm like, look, if you're going to let me create my own character, let me fucking create my own character.
You could be a Saiyan, you could be a Namekian, you could be a Frieza person, you could be a Boo
Namekian,
person.
that's all I need to hear.
You could choose what color of Namekian you want. You could choose what if you want, the fucking antennas,
I do
or
want the
you
antennas.
want the hat, or you want like a Saiyan outfit. You can choose all that stuff. Height, length,
Dope.
thickness.
I'm into
Anyways,
that.
Tom's most important feature.
thickness.
I
Being
love the
thick.
idea that the slider for that literally says thickness with 2 C's on the top.
That's
Does it really?
no.
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 I was like, whoa.
That's when we create.
That would be if
that was
Tom
like
made
based
a
on the way you
game.
described
South
it.
Park does it. Do you know that they do their difficulty?
Thickness.
No,
What a-
it's the skin tone.
Oh no.
Yep.
Just like social commentary.
Yep.
It's just like the easy mode is the whitest you can be, and the hard mode is black.
Mm.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Shout out to me.
Like-
But I would say when we make nerd on the game, then yeah.
Yes.
Thickness.
Yeah.
3
Wow.
C's.
Wow.
But
Three
there is a
Cs.
question that Josh had.
I
Yes.
do have a question in this day and age. Does anybody pre-order games these days?
Nope.
I don't either anymore.
I think. Wait. Here's the thing. If it is some franchise that I've supported for a very long time, then yes, and hasn't fucked me over.
I bought the newest Destiny the day before it came out.
So I'll be honest. Borderlands 3 I pre-downloaded, so I could hop on at 9.
So
I
I've
didn't do that.
recently done that for 3 games, and two of them were games I had no relationship with.
Oh,
I was dancing with the devil by
Gamble.
the pale moonlight,
Wow.
baby. So first one, Marvel's Spider-Man, and that shit was off the chain, mother.
You know what I'm saying? That shit
Yeah.
was so good. So what you got in the pre-order, the Ultimate Edition, was like you got a pin, a thank you letter, and then also like access to the DLC that would come out later on that you could buy. But it's like, cool, I have it already.
yeah.
And then you got like some skins that you could possibly.
Do you put on the Tobey
Unlock.
Maguire suit?
I haven't played it since.
Oh wow.
Since they released.
I heard it
those.
looks real sexy. Actually,
Of course it does, because that was like one of the best cinematic superhero costumes to date. Now, but like that game was fucking awesome. But like, did I really need to pre-order it? Not really. But also, like, I gave a fuck about the game.
Yeah.
The other one was Smash Bros, and then I got the fighter pass out of it, so I'm like, cool, and I don't have to worry about that. And all the pre-order stuff that I've ever experienced have never been like, you get this armor suit, and then no one else you get. It's always been like, you get access to a DLC later on. Okay, cool.
Well, that's all it is now.
Yeah.
It used to be
You used
pre-order
to get
from
a lot of
GameStop,
stuff.
you get this stuff. Pre-order from
I remember
Amazon, you get this
GameStop back
stuff.
then. It's
Yeah.
like, you get the fucking Master Chief helmet. Here's
Yeah.
the fucking assault rifle. Here's
That
the
Master
chainsaw.
Chief helmet is the bane of my existence to this day. I want it so bad, and
Oh.
I couldn't
Dude.
afford it. It was like $130.
Dude, if I
or
found one and
something.
got it for you, how much would
I'd
you?
cry.
How much would you put out for me?
Everything,
Hell.
whatever you want, any orifice
You
is yours.
realize I live
Wow.
I live next to video game dude.
Yeah,
All right.
All right.
It's a matter of time.
I don't as much anymore. I used to pre-order, but I just
yeah, I don't.
I got to a place where I was getting burned a lot. No Man's Sky, and
Oh.
No man's Sky.
and I just
They-
kept getting burned and burned.
Anthem?
I know that they've had a reawakening where
They have.
things
They
are going
just
well.
had
At
a
the
2 years
time.
later?
A big thing. Yeah.
2 years
Yeah,
later.
2 years later.
Um,
At the
Good thing
time.
you invested
Um,
early.
No, I did not. I did not buy it.
So there were games
Thanks,
that I
Bungo.
there are things that I have pre-ordered that I just got really burned, and so I stopped pre-ordering
Yeah.
and waiting at least a little while. There's only 2 right now that are on the docket that I have pre-ordered because obviously I love the first game, and
Can I guess?
you can, of
I think
course.
I know what
Final
it is.
Fantasy 7
Mhm.
and then The Last of Us. Last of Us,
No.
whatever
Yeah.
the fuck. Yeah.
Or
okay.
Diss.
Wow.
Yeah.
Don't say no to me, Ollie.
Yeah,
I
I
know
thought it was
Josh
gonna
more than
be-
you do.
I could have
Wow.
sworn one
there-
of those was going to be Dying Light too.
I'm with you on that, Josh, because like I basically Borderlands was the first one I've pre-ordered in like a couple years.
I have to like really like. There's beyond a shadow of a doubt that I'm gonna play.
Like I'm gonna pre-order Halo Infinite. I know that much.
I know which one I'll pre-order next.
but I pretty much try to stay. There's like such a weird culture around pre-ordering now that a lot of companies take for granted, and I'm
Mhm.
trying it. I probably, as a sole person, will not make much of a difference, but
Where there's the whole like movement
I
of
can
like
sleep better
pay
at
with
night.
your wallet.
I can
There-
sleep
there's like
better at
a-
night knowing I didn't pre-order something that
Right.
fell apart.
Right. And a lot of
So-
players are just like over it kind of as in a cultural sense because
Yeah.
like it's sort of like it has a weird taboo.
They've all
now.
been burned. They've all
Yeah.
been in the same spot that we've been in. where
It's not
just
like movies where it's like, well, I'm gonna watch.
I'm
a
not
movie.
getting a complete game. Why should I pay for it now?
It's like be a responsible consumer. If you want to buy a game, wait for the review, make sure it's not crap.
one
um,
I am like considering is Dying Light 2 because I am. That's another game
I thought
that
that
I'm
was
like.
gonna be one
I
of your
know I'm
others.
going to play
Yeah.
it because I love Dying Light 1.
Yeah.
I probably won't
I love the first
pre-order
one.
it.
You
but I'm
know,
gonna
I'll
get
probably
it.
I'll
wait
probably
until
get
I
it,
find
but I
out what
won't.
system you get it on so we can play it.
Right.
You know the
I'm-
one that I'm gonna do?
Hmm.
Cyberpunk.
That's I was
Oh,
going to
yeah.
mention that.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do Cyberpunk.
There's
don't think
only
I'm getting
one
that game.
game. There's only one game that I'm actually like super looking forward to inside of this next year, and it's Cyberpunk. Like I
Not,
just,
not the Marvel's
don't-
Avengers.
God
Here's the
damn,
thing.
no.
I
no.
have like
Dun, dun,
looked at
dun,
myself in the
dun.
mirror.
Don't you dare.
I've looked at myself in the mirror a few times, been like, "What's wrong with you?" Because I'm not hyped for that game, and I don't know
That's
why.
okay.
I can't figure out
Which one?
what Cyberpunk.
Oh, okay.
I can't figure out what
I'm looking
isn't
forward.
speaking to me.
I love.
I love that you've actually taken the time to look at yourself in the mirror and been like, What's wrong with you?
Everyone at this table is so pumped
I
for it. I'm
love
just like,
Fallout,
I feel
okay?
nothing.
but the problem that I have with Fallout is the setting. It's too brown and
yeah.
bleak. Like the thing I love about the idea of cyberpunk is that it's like bright lights, colorful, but I'm into like
Yeah.
loud, colorful like things.
Me
but at
too.
the same
I mean,
time,
shout out
it's
to
like-
Saints Row. Like that was
It's
one
still
of my
dark
favorite
and
franchises.
gritty, and it's like everything about it. I don't have to sell the
For a
game
while.
to people, but
I'm gonna weigh in a teeny bit because this is just how I've always been
Yeah.
with games. I don't think I've ever pre-ordered a game ever.
Mhm.
I think the only times I've spent money on games is indie bundles, like independent games. I don't think I've ever really dropped
It's a
money
little
on
different.
like a full
That's
title.
not what you said about that
'cause
KFC
you're
dating
more
sim.
of a
That one was free, 90 free.
For
so
those-
I didn't spend nothing on that.
for those who may know, you're more of a PC gamer, anyways, right?
Primarily,
But
I
also-
used to be PlayStation only,
Even-
but then moved to PC.
but also very big on indie games.
Yeah.
very big.
I feel
Yeah,
like pre-order
that's-
culture is more, for some reason, more on consoles and like specifically GameStop
100%.
and like going in and getting your pre-order
Right.
bonus poster.
Is there something
and,
that I
like,
don't know about PCs? Like games, are they free or something? Or?
Games come out later,
Later.
on PCs.
They usually come out
Usually.
later,
And
or,
sometimes
So
it's
like
Oh,
Red
got it,
Dead
got it,
just
got
came out on PC this month.
Yeah.
yeah.
like
Almost
Black
a year after
Bat-
it came out.
Batman Arkham Knight never came out for PC. Or it did, and then it got shitty, and then they
yeah.
took it out.
And
Had
for the
frame rate
last
issues.
like I'd say maybe 8 to 9 years, I've been only PC with like I had an Xbox for a hot second, and I don't think I only got bargain bin games. Like I would go to that little $5 thing when they're like, "We're trying to get
Well,
rid
But
of
like
this."
the pre-order doesn't really help you much on PC because you can't really pre-download it beforehand. They don't let you do that.
I mean, nowadays you can. You preload it ahead of like,
I know you
a
can
couple
on
days ahead or
console, but you
whatever.
can on PC now too.
Mhm.
They didn't for a
Ye-
long time. That was mostly console
Well,
only
The other thing about
because
that,
then people
like,
had access to the files.
the other thing about that kind of that culture of pre-order is that nowadays what you find out with like PSN and with Xbox Live, when you have those memberships, oftentimes soon after a game comes out, it's 50% off, or it's
Right.
like it's
Well, those are the
you
shit
almost-
games.
Yeah, that's true.
Not all the time true.
Mm.
Sometimes there's games that have been highly sought out and they're highly rated and they're put on free or really low
What-
prices, and
oh,
you're like, whoa.
What I've seen from my experience has been like recently on PlayStation Store Plus, if you're like Neo just became free. And so that was like one of the top tier games. And like Ollie made a joke about it a long time ago that Metal Gear Solid 5 was free. And that was kind of like PlayStation being like their final like goodbye to Kojima. And it was like, because he broke off and did his own thing. But most of the time, what I've seen is like if a game does really well, 3 months later, they do a greatest hits version. And
Yeah.
maybe it's like $20
Or the
off.
Game of the Year edition.
Game of the Year
or-
edition,
Yeah.
yeah. But then I've never
Greatest
seen
hits.
greatest hits, whatever.
If it's still
TV 14.
Just the first 4 levels, then we skip
Uh,
3, and then we go to the last 3. Those are the greatest hits of
I'm
the
not
game.
talking about Destiny. So I'm kidding.
Well,
but
didn't they had PlayStation Greatest Hits?
I don't know.
Yeah,
that's what they used to be called
that's what they called greatest
Yeah.
hits.
Yeah.
for PlayStation.
But like, or they would do it like it just came out, and then like here's all the DLC shit later on. But like I've never seen it where it's like here's a AAA game coming out, 2 weeks later it's all half price unless it's tanked.
yeah, unless it's
I've
tanked.
only seen it because it tanked, so I've never seen a
I've
price.
seen a
get sla-
couple that were like,
like
whoa, that's
like Mario
quick.
Kart Double Dash is still $59. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
how the fuck?
I'm
you
pretty
know,
sure like Grand Theft Auto 5 is still full price. or
Yeah,
getting
and it's
close
like
to full price.
I've never seen like quote
the
unquote
game
like
that never dies.
high end games that like went down in price unless they were like over 10 years
They
old
can't
and
sell
never
'em.
supported unless like it was a great whatever the Game of the Year edition, and then that's it. Like if any game like came out and then like 2 weeks later like it went down in price, I'm like I know what happened.
Mhm.
Like Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist Legacy was like $49.99 on retail, and then like 2 weeks later it wasn't doing well, so it went down to like $39. So I was like, cool, I'll buy it.
Yep.
But that's me.
Another reason you can preload on PC now is because most games are like over 70 or 60 gigs.
Oh,
And
yeah,
so
And
that's
you
true.
have like
Well-
launchers, like the
Yeah, that's
Battle
true.
If
Dot.
it's like you can play day
you have
one,
the
no, I'm
launcher-
playing it day 2 because I'm spending day 1 downloading.
Launchers
it.
can pre-download.
Yeah.
And
You
it,
can
most of them are online, so it's got to sign in anyways.
That's true.
and it-
That's
yeah.
what we did with Anthem.
So
I
we did
think.
with Anthem, yeah,
we
preloaded.
pre-downloaded it and then played it the day
Oh,
of.
Anthem.
Oh,
Anthem.
I know what we're talking about.
Complete.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
complete. I
Yeah,
mean, I
yeah.
did want to make some shout outs to like, you had God of War that came out. That
Oh
was
yeah,
a
Special shout
wonderful
outs.
game.
big big
Days
one.
Gone.
Shout-outs?
I spent so much time, like games since
since
part 1 of this
part
episode.
one,
Marvel
yeah.
Ultimate Alliance 3.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that was a dope game.
Shout out to
Yeah.
that game.
Shout out to Kind Words,
What else?
a game where you literally just write letters to other people.
Aw.
It's like a
Aw.
little self-help.
Shout out to Jackbox because that's been like
Yeah,
filled
that's
so
been
many
That's been the
fun.
party
Oh my
game.
God.
times of like
yeah.
our party games, but also some of our streams. Like it's such a low level, so low like window for people to just walk in and start playing a game because it brings in all of the couch co-op fun, the competitive nature of it, but also you and your stupid fucking like device that you have in your hand.
We went through a month of playing Dauntless.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
hardcore. Hardcore
Oh my
month
God,
of
I
all of us
almost
staying up till
completely
like
forgot.
I would say this. I was almost gonna say
Set
like
me,
I
set me.
wanted a couch co-op.
No.
I wanted a couch co-op with like
Console.
Monster Hunter or something like that, or like well, I was gonna say a couch co-op version of Shadow of the Colossus. Then I was like, they try to do that with Monster Hunter. But I was like, but that's also kind of like what Dauntless is. And I'm like,
No, she could have played. I played with you guys on PC.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, I just
Yeah.
oh
Yeah, crossplay.
I work them nights.
Oh, nights.
Oh, that's
so
what it was.
Yeah.
that,
so everyone
that ruins it.
you
everyone-
live under a rock
I do.
at night.
Everyone at
Yeah.
home, Dauntless
fun.
is an epic game.
Free.
So with the Fortnite people, and it's pretty much just like Monster
I
Hunter.
thought you
It's
were saying it's an epic
Epic
game.
game.
It's epic games.
Epic's game.
It's so
Epic
epic.
games.
So epic.
And so, you're just with the team of 4
And I-
people, and you just
I
killing
like it better
monsters.
than Monster Hunter.
Me too. I
Yeah.
downloaded Monster Hunter to
Hot
play.
take.
I promised at the E3, one of the Xbox guys, he was like, "Are you been playing Dauntless? Promise me that you'll try," because I have the Game Pass. He's like,
Mhm.
"Promise me you'll try Monster Hunter." I was like, "Cool." I played 10 minutes of it. I was like, "I hate this."
The only thing you like is probably the cat.
I paid for
I didn't even like it.
You
It
like the
didn't-
cat?
I mean, it's fine. But
My
like,
cat has so much decked out armor.
What is it? The Palicos?
yeah,
Is that
I
there?
just like
I got
I spent
frustrated.
majority of the time designing my cat, and then once it was in the game, I was like, "But I don't ever get to like do anything
Yeah,
with
I
it."
spent so much time
The
on
cat
that,
helps you.
and then I
Yeah,
got
but, like,
frustrated.
passively.
Like one of the early bosses, I got frustrated because we ended up in some narrow path, and he's a giant freaking monster, and he kept clipping between things and like physics killing me, and I'm like, I'm done with this.
Yeah,
And, like
fair.
literally, I was like,
Yeah.
I can't stand this right now.
I got to the town and I was like, "That's too much."
I don't
Yeah.
know how like this one compares to the other ones. I just know specifically for me, it was like the first time ever playing it. And Monster Hunter is a hard game to get into. Apparently.
is.
Because like the mechanics are so difficult. Because each weapon you play with is like playing a completely different game.
Yeah,
And so just that in itself is crazy.
yeah.
Other shout outs?
I mean, I would shout out to
Overcooked?
Switch. I mean, yeah, Overcooked.
Far Cry 5.
Okay, Caitlyn, you're super stressed and you get mad at me when we play.
I know, but it's really fun.
You fucking get so mad at
To
me.
be mad
I
at
just
Tom?
want them
Yeah.
threes,
Yeah.
dude. I want Knights of the Old Republic 3. I want Left 4 Dead 3.
We,
Like,
you
that's
did
all
get
I
your
want.
Kingdom Hearts? Your Kingdom Hearts 3 too.
Yeah.
We
Who are you
did
talking?
get our-
Who are you
that
talking
was-
about? Who are you
that was
talking
his
to?
Kingdom Hearts
You're-
3.
I played Kingdom
I'm
Hearts
sorry,
3.
I looked
He's
at
the
you.
only one.
And that
Yeah.
shit
I looked at
is
Josh, but I meant to look
so
at you.
convoluted. I don't know what is happening, and I don't think the characters know what's happening.
I don't think so. But that's
No.
okay. But you got it. Yay!
I played it and I loved it. I like because I was like, finally, we got a third one. But like, I'll tell you this right now, not like I want to shit on it. The voice acting there is just not synced up well.
No,
It's so not synced up well. There's so many
It's
weird,
really
awkward
not.
pauses, and I'm like, that's both
Yeah, it
game
was-
developers' fault
yeah.
and then also
The
like, voice-
localization.
State of Decay 2. I've been playing a lot of
Oh,
that
yeah.
too lately. I've been playing it's like an easy game to hop on for 15, 20 minutes, do a mission, hop back off.
I like
Yeah.
watching
It's
other
scary
people play
because
that game.
If your character
but
dies,
not
it
playing
dies.
myself.
And that's it.
Oh,
You lose that character.
Yeah,
you get
kinda
people to come
terrifying.
to your camp. But if you go out and you can trade them out because people get tired. So you go out on
A
different
lot of
missions with different
resource
guys.
management in the sense of like,
But like if your person dies in the game, that person's dead. And
Permadeath.
he's no
Real
longer
life.
in your camp.
that's
And
awesome.
you got to play as someone else.
and
for
I
the
mean
rest of
like
the game.
resource management, like like the resource of people. Like, oh, this guy's really tired. I need to let him rest.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take this character out and do the missions.
Was
with
the
You have
them.
it
Switch
on
out?
Xbox?
Was the Switch out before?
When we did the first episode?
It was free one time.
So we should, if you have it on Xbox, we should play it on Xbox.
so I guess
Because
Because I
this
still hop on.
this would be a
Nice.
shout out.
your Switch.
And my wife's in it. So
Yeah.
shout out to the night.
The Switch. Thank you, Nintendo.
Say Decay 2.
What does your wife love to
For
play?
changing your life.
Oh, my wife loves to play Mario Party.
Fucking Mario
Specifically
Party.
the
rowing.
rafting.
The
The
Rowing.
rowing one.
Yeah. So
On.
she's super into that. Like that's the first video game I've ever gotten her to play. So I'm very excited about it.
Aw.
on your special
On-
shout out.
The Switch, and it's an incredible console. I think it's one of Nintendo's best that they've put out.
I agree with
It
that.
has a lot of potential. I love the Pro Controller. It's one of my favorite game pads. Period.
I like that there's so many games now starting to come out for it. Like when
Yeah.
it first came out, I was like, I'm not gonna put that money
That-
down yet.
Have you
That
beaten
is-
Ultimate Alliance yet?
No, I'm like halfway through.
It's
That-
so good.
I have so much more fun when I'm
With
playing with you
peeps.
guys. Like when I'm by myself, I'm like, this is fun, but not as fun.
Text me, I'll jump on.
That is
Okay.
that
I
is
got
the
Switch Online.
that is the crutch of Nintendo all the time. Is that when they first launch
gotta
it, there's
get one of
not that many
these.
titles that you want to play.
There
with.
didn't need to be at the time.
Yeah, but now it's like
For me,
so many.
it was a downer
For
when I
you.
first bought it. I had Pokemon, and then
But
I
you'd
played
also
yeah.
Breath of the
you
Wild.
also didn't like Breath of the
I
Wild.
hated Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
It was everything I don't like about video games in
That's
one game.
unfortunate.
And I went,
Wow.
"Ugh."
I'm in fucking love with it.
I know. I'm the minority. Trust me.
Yeah.
I know it.
That's fine.
I went
My
on-
buddy Dustin Tasty might shut out. He
but
was
I
like,
know why, and it's
he was like,
and
well,
it's
you didn't
valid.
play enough of it. And I was like, I played like
No, you
7
played
hours
enough.
of it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. and
It's
he's like,
valid. Your
okay.
reasons are valid.
It's a completely different game
Yeah.
than what everyone's ever been used to.
Yeah.
I would say one of my shout outs.
I'll just go back and play Ocarina
It's
again.
probably Pokemon. Let's go.
Oh,
Let's Go was great.
Like
Let's
I
go
really
have
love
it.
this Pokeball that we have on our
I've
table.
been
Like,
shiny hunting like crazy.
And like there's built-in mechanics that like other than just like pure random numbers of like you'll get a shiny. It's like no, you can farm it. You can learn how to farm.
I
these
got my
Pokemon.
shiny Ponyta finally. So
It's
sexy.
Ooh.
it's great for people who's never
Blue
played
Flames.
it, and so like who
Yeah.
never played Pokemon at all. But like there is some nuance that's left out from the original Game Boy Advance games, where it's like
Yeah.
make the decision here and there. But it's like this one's like, well, I know I can get all the starters if
Yeah.
I wanted to. But I think it's fun, it's lighthearted. And to me like any Pokemon game that comes out for Nintendo, I'm kind of like hoping good things for it, obviously, because I'm a fanboy for that shit.
Yeah. It's a good
Mhm.
shout out. Cool.
Now,
Now
I
I feel
feel complete.
I feel complete too.
I'm excited for part 3 in 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it again.
No, I'm not serious.
yeah,
There's so many
yeah, we
games
should.
come out so
So
quickly.
And then
many
Final
games.
Fantasy VII may have come out.
Yeah.
We'll be
Well,
anticipating
we do
the
have a
second
release
part
date. Yeah.
of Final Fantasy VII.
That's
Everybody.
his next anticipation.
we might get Knights of the Old Republic by then.
Oh my god. If we
might.
get it in 2 years,
I
I'll
don't know
cry.
about
Here's the
that.
thing with the gaming industry,
Right.
you never know.
Or
I
Left
really
4 Dead.
don't.
I
just
mean,
want,
Fallen
like-
Order came out of nowhere.
Here's my thing. I don't know why they don't do it. How much money would Disney make if they just let Obsidian like make
Corey's
Knights of the
like,
Republic?
I would
Just
say this.
give
I would
me
say
the
this. I
game.
would say this. They would probably make a lot, but not as much as they want because they would have to give Obsidian some money. 'Cause
They
that's-
don't. They
that's
want to make
them.
it.
Let's say I don't think they're going to
Yeah.
re-up on that EA
Josh
contract.
has something
I don't
he
think they
has
will.
to share, or he looks like he'll
I hope they don't. If they
explode.
do, I'll be super disappointed. They ruined 2 of my favorite games,
Mhm.
which is Battlefront and Star Wars
Josh
Knights of the Old
is
Republic,
gonna
because they made an
die.
online game, which means they couldn't make any more. And it's a shitty game.
Yeah.
It had so much promise, and they drove it into the ground because they're greedy. Anyway,
Yep.
I'm done.
Josh,
I just realized Fable, a new Fable.
What?
Like you and I have
Oh,
talked
it's
about that.
technically
It's something that we have
rumored.
like.
Rumored.
No, I know. It's just one of those things that I went.
Oh, that's what you want to see? Fable 4. Fable 4 would be fun. It's
Yeah.
talked about every
Yeah.
year.
Ananyway,
Also, special shout out.
Just like
Telltale.
the FF7 remake was.
yeah.
Telltale as a company. I'll say this right now. If you
Ah,
haven't
yeah.
played,
not anymore.
well, as a franchise of their games,
There we go.
but Batman, I'm
It's
telling
so
you, I'm
good.
like, I'm telling y'all, I read some comic books, I watched some movies, I watched some TV shows. I didn't think
I got to do 2, the part 2.
I didn't think they could do a different
good version of the Batman origin story. And my God, those
And
some of them
like
writers
a Joker origin
is
almost.
so good. I was surprised.
I'm with Tom. I encourage anyone who likes the Telltale style video game of playing and likes Batman even a little bit to go play that game.
Even then, just a different version of how Batman came to be.
You get
I
to
didn't know
pick
that I
his
was
suit
going to like the
colors.
style because to
Cell
me
shading.
it's almost kind of like it's not even the design, it's more so the
mechanics.
mechanics of do you remember Goosebumps Choose Your Own
Yeah.
Adventure? I had a really hard time with those. I wanted like with a narrative like
You wanted
this
the
it's
perfect
like
story.
I wanted it just goes.
a straight a
This-
linear
Are you one of
path.
those people who like if you make a decision and it's not, you're like, well, I guess I'm loading back in to make the right
Yeah,
decision.
No, I'm terrible
I
at
feel like he
that.
has buyer's remorse.
I save over.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you made it.
I feel
You made that decision.
Oh wow.
I
Okay.
feel like video games are kind of like the food of media we consume. Like if let me explain. Food is something that everybody can have in common because it's so diverse, so many
With the
different
types of
textures,
food.
flavors, types of food. Everybody can like come together and be like, food is fucking good.
Well, you have to eat it.
But it's also hard
to
to
live.
Video,
You have to play video
that's the
games to
thing
live.
too. But like
Am I
video
missing
games
something?
are just like video games are our TV shows, our movies, our books, they're everything all in one, and
yeah.
it can be for everybody.
It is the ultimate
whether
media.
you're like a quote unquote nerd or not.
Ollie said it a while ago.
I would
He's-
say not necessarily. There's unfortunately a lot of people I know who do not like or play video games.
Yeah.
So I'd almost say yes, but
I
for
guess I'm
those who
speaking
like it,
from
though,
my experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, for those who like it,
Everybody
Ollie
I know.
did say it a while ago. It does kind of like break into that different realm of media where you get to actually interact with what you're watching,
Right.
and so it's
Yeah.
and you're reading at the same time.
Right.
But
You
on
get
the same
everything, like-
analogy, it's like there's different tastes, meaning,
Right.
and that's why it's so hard for us to do video game episodes because at this one
Because
table
these people don't know what the fuck they're talking
we
about.
have a lot of different tastes, so it's a
Yeah.
lot of fun. But
Yeah.
I see it as one of the ultimate art forms. You can bring
Yeah.
in painting, you can bring in dancing, you can bring in music, you can bring in film.
Exercise, Ring
Yeah.
Fit Adventure.
Yeah, I like Okami, but you didn't talk about it. So go on, ring us out.
I
Oh,
did
gosh, it's
actually.
okay.
I feel complete.
For the third and final time.
For the third
I feel
ending.
complete.
I'm going to take these off to prove my point.
Everybody at home, thank you so much for listening or watching if you are on the YouTubes. We really appreciate you. Please do share us with your friends, your family. Stop by YouTube, subscribe. Stop by Apple, subscribe, and rate us and review us. It does help us. And tell us about your video game stuff that you like, things that you're looking into or looking forward to or have been spending a lot of time on. Just reach out to us. You can direct message us.
Through those DMs.
You can do anything that you want. You can
Slide
even
in.
email us questions at nerdon.tv, and we will answer it most likely
On the update.
on the Nerd On Update.
And you should check out our new show that's currently out right now.
Oh,
That's
dang.
right.
Wow.
We
Mandalorian.
Knights of the Old
Mandalorian,
Republic
baby.
3.
Essentially, I mean,
No,
we're
it's not.
covering bounty,
Yeah.
history
we're-
of Mandalorians.
We're starting to branch out a little bit with our content. And if you'd like to be a part of the process of us making content and kind of as we ask questions of what you think about it, consider joining the Nerd On Nation. We do post to our Nation members to ask them what they think about even the merch that we create. And you can get on that Discord server with the Nerd On Nation and talk to other members and other fans. It's a good time over there.
It is a good time.
But,
Great. Come hang
We
out.
have fun here.
check out our website, nerdon.tv, and that is the last of the housekeeping. I'm going to end it here. You know the drill. As always,
Nerd On!
Ending broadcast.